All right, everybody. What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Ligo, one half of Endure, and this is an Endcast episode 10. And right now, I have basically we have a little cast together to talk about the Nintendo Wii U and the halfway mark of the Wii U cycle. So first, I'll introduce, of course, the female of the group so far, Katie. What's going on?
Hi, I'm cool. I'm cool.
All right. Okay. Then we have Team Everything. George, what's going on?
Doing fine.
All right. And of course, we have the doctor in the house, Dr. Feelgood. How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good.
Dr. Feelgood?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, okay. Just making sure you're in there. Um,
Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, yeah. I was saying it's going good. Hey, I'd like to show you guys a little something before we get
Yeah, we can
started.
hear you. Can you?
A Splatoon hat.
Okay.
A white brought this
Where'd you
home.
get that from?
Yeah, so a little Michael Jackson going on here. So
I think Katie asked you where you get the hat from.
I'm not I think she got it from Party City, but I'm not sure. They were like $1.
$1 deal.
You hear that? $1 deal. Okay. Okay, that's good. Well, hey, you get everybody's enjoying Splatoon. That's all good. Like I said, we basically me and Katie we're gonna do a review of Splatoon like down in August when everything comes out, whatever. Because like I said, everybody's enjoying it, so it is what it is. So, like I said, we're talking about the halfway mark of the cycle of the Wii U. But before we get into that, I have to like I said, I got some time to talk to my friend Kenji and also some people from Nintendo America and from Europe doing these deals and see what's going on. And I found out something that is not is interesting, not surprising to me, and maybe some of the people will not be surprising too. But to give you reference, so people understand what I'm talking, to see that I'm not that kind of person. Again, remember, you could check my channel, Nintendo and Duo. Go to our channel, check out the first breakdown video, episode 1 of the breakdown video. It talks about what it is, because I'm not a selfish person. And a lot of people want certain features in their games, and I respect that. What happened is everybody's saying Nintendo needs to get up with the times and the usual stuff, and this is basically around voice chat. This is around voice chat. So Nintendo, what it did back in November, December, what it was doing, there was how should I say this? They did some testing, and they listened to some of the fans and what it's saying to a degree, and they said, "Well, let's try it out." So what happened was they set up their own servers. They set up Splatoon. They give the whole multi-action, whatever. They got families and they got some Nintendo fans who are gamers and everything like that. And first of all, let me say this as well too. People, remember, as much as we all are gamers here, still the core. There's still not the core. There's still the part that Nintendo branches off to and always makes their money from is families. I'm gonna. It just is what it is, y'all. I don't. That part right there is something that I wish a lot of gamers who are, single guys or guys who just into their games or girls, whatever, it's families. That's what they're making their bread and butter. That's why Nintendo said they're not challenging Microsoft and PlayStation. They go for the hardcore. Nintendo's just saying let's just make our games fun and have it and let's get it done. So what happened is they set up servers, Japan, Europe, and America. They play the Splatoon game, and basically they put they found out something about, and they say, you know what, let's try voice chat. Let's try voice chat and see what happened. And since Dr. Fugo, you was the first on to talk about this, what do you think happened when they did the voice chat in the control environment?
I have it's one of two things. Either it was used rarely, which means no one really tried to communicate any type of strategies, or everyone had a foul mouth every time they died or a teammate didn't do something that they think they should have done. So, in other words, either there was a foul mouth, something horrible was said when a teammate didn't meet certain expectations, or it was used so rarely that it just wasn't worth the investment to include it.
Okay, George, what do you think happened? I'm just because, like I said, I want to hear give people a chance to think what happened.
I think I think that they chose. I'm gonna continue off of what Dr. Feelgood said. I think that people probably had were cursing or whatever they were doing, and that's partly the reason why they didn't want to use it, because they wanted it to stay family friendly so it can stay for everyone, so they could get more money off of a bigger market. And yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, what basically you guys are correct. It went straight to potty mouth and straight to cursing and slang and profanities, even in a controlled environment. And of course nobody will be shocked by this. Which region you think started it out? It didn't last no more than a couple minutes before that happened. Which region you think championed that part of the whole thing?
America.
America.
Japan?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. America.
Because here's the reason behind it. Like I said, there are many people that that think that hey, I'm just super pro Nintendo and whatever they think or whatever they do, I'm just okay with it regardless. I don't care to make them better. My whole thing is this: I always try to understand why the company makes certain decisions. I may not like it, but I at least try to understand the reasoning behind it. And so when I stepped back and thought about it, I said, okay, I'm an avid COD player. At least I used to be. From Modern Warfare 3, well, COD 3 all the way up to Black Ops 2.
Hmm.
But I'm a competitive person, but I've never cursed somebody out or called them out their name just because I lost or because they were better than me. I've never done that. I promise you, I've never done that because I believe in fun. But when I stepped back and said, here's a shooter, no voice chat, I thought about all the things that I have personally encountered on Call of Duty, on Battlefield, on Halo, on Gears, and 90% of it is vulgar and or insulting. Vulgar, offensive, insulting. It's never really a positive thing. The most positive community I've been with was Call of Duty Black Ops on the Wii U. And even then, some people had a foul mouth. It just Nintendo doesn't really tolerate it, but it's a lot less frequent on the Wii U community. But I can see why they didn't include it because even now when I play Splatoon, it's like there are times sometimes I just like shit like why didn't you go defend the base? But even though that's not bad, I'm not offending the person. Somebody could be offended by that because either I'm cursing, and some folks would be like, "Well, you can just mute it and turn it off." I don't feel like muting an entire community just so I don't hear obscene profanities.
Well, that I mean that what everybody said about the whole mutant and stuff like that, it could be done. I'm not going to advocate nothing against that. The thing is though, when Nintendo creates their games and everything else, they're thinking of the lowest common denominator. Parent bought the game, they're having fun with the game. They don't, and they maybe walked out the house, walk out the room or something. They come back, and again, a lot of the gamers who are more Nintendo fanboys or just like saying they're doing certain things. Look, I'm telling you, you just don't. As a big company, you just avoid the headache. Why even give the chance to have the headache of getting sued? You just don't wanna.
You know what?
I rather have cut it off now and not get a bunch of paper lawyers suing me every second for all kind of stuff than just get it over with.
And you just reminded me of something. I'm not sure if you guys know about this, but there was a post that I someone made on Google Plus, and I made sure to reshare it. But a family bought their kids Splatoon. I think they're like 10 or 11 years old, if not a little
Yeah.
bit younger than that.
Hmm.
And one of the kids asked for some paint to paint like a treehouse or to redecorate something or whatever. So the parents went out and bought this kid, these children, like 14 little cans of paint. They left, came home, and their entire house was covered with these cans of paint. And when they asked the
Mhm.
kids why they did it, and this is a true story from what I read, the kids said, they said they walked in, the kids said, "I win," and they asked them like, "What made you do this?" They both said Splatoon. Do you know they're
I
trying
saw
to
the
sue
story.
Nintendo for damages? It's
Yeah,
like
I saw the
so
story.
so you, a parent, did not really think about why your child would want 14 cans of paint and then you left them unsupervised with this paint in your home. I don't know what you did, but you apparently left the house, and now it's Nintendo's fault that your house is covered in neon colors.
Yeah, and you know what? And it's something that some of most gamers will say. They will say, "Hey, well, that's the parents' fault." But hey,
Who's
in
getting
in
sued?
America, but thank you. In America, you could sue for the simplest and stupidest thing. Again, that lady that sued Nintendo, that sued the people back when the Wii came out, she won the lawsuit of $4 million. Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of money to give somebody. And she signed waivers, she signed papers, she signed all kind of stuff that Nintendo that would not be sued, but they sued and they won. So I would rather avoid the headache. But that's basically what happened. They tried it out. They say, okay, you know what? Let's see what the fans want. Let's try this testing, family, everything. And because of you, and I've done it. Katie's seen me done it. I would think you've done the same thing, Dr. Feelgood and George, everybody. You know, the people who own our butts on Splatoon are the Japanese people. Them cats are into that game and pull some crazy moves. And when you see them kill four, five, six people all over again, you're like, you're saying stuff. You're just saying stuff.
Yeah, you guys heard my wife on the last Ncast or whatever.
Yeah.
She wasn't cursing, but she basically knew I was on a podcast, so she was like, "Son of a-" I'm like, "Yeah." I like it. And
Yeah.
this is exactly why we do not have any type of voice chat. I can admit I've even yelled out some things. Nothing offensive, of course, but I've definitely, let out a few sailors words while playing the game because my team is getting slaughtered, and here I am scoring 1,100 points, and yet we lose.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of your posts where you have like the zeros and where basically what happened is the people end out of get mismatch out of the game because of servers and stuff, and you got like you're number one, you got like 10,000, 1,000 points, but everybody's zeros.
It's like, so I
Yeah, see,
definitely understand the anger, but like I said, I completely understand why it's not there, and I'm not mad about it. I really am not. Because even when I try to ask my wife something very important while she's playing, she's like, "Not right now. I'm in the middle of a match."
well, you're a lucky dude for you and your wife to play a game like that. But my point still, the point still stands to this point that. And the reason I said go back to my episode 1 of the breakdown doesn't mean I don't want voice chat. Doesn't mean it's not needed. I'm just saying if you want in that video I pointed out, if you want that, I say Nintendo have a premium service for people who want it, so they could have, and that will lock out a lot of other people. And then the other part, and the dummy part, where people who just don't care about it, don't even gotta press no buttons or nothing. You want it, you know the tech, you do it. Because a lot of parents who buy these games are not tech savvy, or they just put stuff in it. It's the parents' fault. But again, I could get sued if I could go to anybody's house and and somebody come to my house and they slip on and there's ice outside and they slipped on the ice, even though they're the one who made a mistake and parked someplace right there, but it's on my property. They could sue me and get insurance. You just don't want the headache. That's all I'm explaining out to anybody out there. And when they did the test fire, not the test fire, when they did the beta test this between the families and everything else, America was the first person. Man, they were throwing out even N bombs. That's how bad it got. And this is controlled by Nintendo in that testing.
I want to hear the record. I know they recorded all of it. I just want to hear the recording of this whole session.
They ain't gonna release that because you're not gonna. I'm with you too. I'm with you too. But like I said, that's basically like I said. Those guys are the PR heads, of course. Joel Davis for America and Ingrid Montero for Europe. They were saying, hey, yeah, this is not gonna work for our family-centric views and everything that Nintendo is. So yeah. So the part where the developer was like, yeah, why don't he was saying. Sorry, think about it. Think about it. Oh yeah, when he was saying he had bad experiences, that's what a bad experience came from. When he was like, "This is what they're gonna do with my game." Yeah, and Nintendo's like, well, like Iwata was like, no, that's against our family rule setting, so let's not do that. Let's cut that right now. So that's basically what happened. Anybody who's joining in right now, you go back to the end of the end of the podcast, the beginning of the podcast, and I basically explain why voice. I just explained why voice chat was in there, and also Nintendo went an extra length to tell you guys to say, okay, let's see what voice chat would do in this, and they were right with the whole negatively and cursing and everything in it. So it is what it is. That's what's gonna happen. Like I said, that's what the guy said. At least when you set up a Google Hangout, whatever. Even though people say it was arrogant for what I'm saying, whatever. At least that you could control that, and it's a free service and everything else. You could control what you're talking because, like you said, Dr. Feelgood, one thing you like about it is even when you're talking to your friends, you could understand that. Which I'm good with that too. Have your friends, talking while playing Splatoon. That's cool. I understand the random is a different thing, and we could have had the friends, but again, Nintendo just saw their draw just dropped, seeing all that stuff, and like, you know what? Let's not do it. So that's basically what happened. So right now, let's get into the meat of. Let's get one more thing before we go into the meat, and I wanted to do this one, and I wish Double M was here, but like I said, maybe he's busy, whatever, playing Splatoon. Cause I know he's on that crack. We just had the Nintendo Mini Direct, and I would just want if everybody, I'll go through every person here and ask them a question, and then we'll get into the meat potatoes of the endcast. George, did you get to watch the Nintendo Mini Direct?
I watched some of it, but not all of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
my question to you is: did anything stand out that you liked or not? That stand out. I mean, we keep it positive. So, anything in the mini direct stand out to you that you like?
Well, I saw a lot of really good 3DS games, that they were saying about, and I saw a lot of eShop, you know. Um, I guess you could say indies or virtual console games, but it was pretty good. It was pretty positive. I wasn't expecting like a huge title before E3, so it was good.
Okay.
It was good enough that they gave us some small news before E3.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Dr. Fielgo, what about you? Anything that stand out to you out of that mini direct?
The mini direct, the whole Project Treasure thing, I am interested in. It seemed really really cool. Um, other than that, I mean, I'm pretty sure there was some other news in there. I only watched it once, but
Okay.
yeah, so far the Project Treasure thing, I'm really intrigued about because it looks like a mixture of Left 4 Dead and a couple of other games, and I want to see how it's going to work out on the Wii U.
Okay, that's good enough. I mean, that's good enough. Um, I said I know Katie didn't watch it, so for me, what stand out the most? So for me, I mean, we got like I said, the Project Treasure, like Dr. Feelgood said, the whole Left 4 Dead, Tomb Raider, Gauntlet Legends kind of thing. That you going as a team, you're still fighting zombies, but you're trying to get the treasure and then get out like Tomb Raider. So, but the one thing that kind of stand out for me was, because I just bought the game and I'm happy about it. And like I said, Katie's gonna be she's gonna be getting it next week. Is that I'm hooked, just like you guys are hooked on the Splatoon. I am hooked on Puzzles and Dragons. I don't know. I didn't think I wouldn't get hooked to that game, but I got hooked to that game. And to find out that they doubled the game, that game is double the length of what it is. Because right now I'm in the second stage of Puzzles and Dragons, and that thing is tough. And I'm also at the third stage in the Super Mario version of that game. And anybody out there who says that they want this to be free to play, cause I said a lot of people had arguments about that. Again, if you want a free to play, you could go to Amazon. If you have an iPhone, you could go to the Apple Store and download it for free to play. But I'm telling you right now, if that game is hard as it is what they're playing right now, I don't want to play no free to play for that, because that thing was tough. And they make it that you're gonna pay a lot of money to keep on going in that game. So To find out that they double the stages, like now it's 16 stages for the Super Mario version, and again bigger maps for the Puzzle Dragon side. That's the biggest thing that stand out to me, and I liked it. Give me more bang for my buck because again, it was $30, so it's $5 less than the usual 3DS game. You have two games for that same title. You're playing the same game individually, yes, but it's still different in many cases. And to find out that they double it, that's a value. That's a big value to me. So that stand out to me right there. So anyway, with that said, let's get down to the meat and potatoes of everything. And once again, anybody out there, like I said, the question, the Q&A is open. If so, hopefully we'll get some Q&A. We'll answer some questions later on. Right now, we're gonna go into, like I said, the topic of this is 25. This is the half cycle of the Wii U. So let me start off something simple, which basically I'll start off with you. Basically, this is the question. I'll start off with George first. Why when did you buy your Nintendo, or when you got the Nintendo Wii U, and why were you looking forward to it?
Uh, okay, I got the Wii U a couple months after launch. I think like a month or two after launch. I remember I was watching reviews of it. I remember it at launch. I was really excited how they showed that Zelda tech trailer. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was excited about that. E- Even though it didn't come true, you know, they didn't make that the real Zelda that we're getting. It was still cool to see, and you know, a lot of good games. I liked how they had how they showed that golf, how you were able to use the Wiimote. It used the gamepad. Um, I can't really describe it because I don't remember it. I haven't watched it since the Wii U has originally came out. But yeah, what I liked about the Wii U was that I was able to um, play off TV play. That was pretty cool to me, and
Okay.
I was looking forward to 3D Mario when they announced it, and that's about it.
Okay, that's cool. That's no problem. How about you, Dr. Fiego? When did you get your Wii U, and why did you want to buy the Wii U?
Midnight launch day, November, I think it was 18th or 19th, one of those two.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Um, I got it because I saw the enormous potential in the game, in game console. Everything from the off TV play to the asynchronous gameplay. And I'm not gonna lie, my wife and I were hooked on Nintendo Land for quite some time, a long time. And just
Okay.
looking forward to the games I know I was gonna get. I love the Zelda Tech demo. I'm not disappointed that we didn't get that, but it was still cool to me. But everything that I played thus far on the game is phenomenal. But I got it just because it is truly a different system. Yet at the same time, it supports everything the predecessor did. So Wii games, the Wii modes, even the class controller, things like that. So it's like I wasn't leaving anything behind by getting the system. To me, it was for the first time in a long time, it's pretty much the only common sense buy. Like, why wouldn't you get the system, the one that's trying to change things up, and it's doing it in a great way? Like, I mean, being able to play a AAA title from the comfort of your bed, or in my case, a few times while on the toilet. Um, I'm not gonna lie, man. I have been playing Call of Duty while answering the Call of Duty. So I'm not gonna lie to you. There's been times that hey, I was playing the game, multiplayer match, and didn't want to stop. Hit that one button, and I kept it moving. So it's like
I can't argue. Okay.
I've
That's
actually been
even.
watching my gamepad while cooking in the kitchen, washing dishes or whatever, taking the Netflix from the TV to the gamepad, then back over there. And I've been watching like my wife play the game on the gamepad because she looks directly at it, but I'm looking from the spectator point of view on the television. So it was just really really cool. Like while she's interacting with it, like for example, on Rayman Legends, when she's tickling the big bulky monsters, I'm actually looking at it on my screen, I mean, on the TV screen, like wow, like what you're seeing is actually slightly different from what I'm looking at.
Hmm.
So to me, it was the obvious buy. It's a system that was built to be that also will welcome spectators, but promotes one player having a different job than the others, and that is why I love the system. Have loved it since launch. To me, there's never been a drought of good games, and I have other systems. So yeah, it was the only common sense buy in a long time. It made sense. It didn't make any sense not to get it.
Okay, that's cool. Hey, because everybody has a right to their own opinion. They could say stuff, so I got a problem with nobody with anything anybody says right here. So I'm gonna pass it on to Katie. Like I said, our time is the same, but why did you like looking forward to the Wii U?
Well, I was looking forward to the Wii U, obviously because it was a little step up from the Wii, obviously.
Hmm.
So just imagining all the new games that was gonna come out. I know Nintendo Land was like the greatest thing ever. Just like Dr. Feelgood said, I was also hooked on it, but mostly to the fact on what was it? That beat one, move
Oh,
the
yeah.
underwater
Well,
beat.
yeah. I'm gonna get to a question about that, but basically, you just wanted to play the games.
Mostly the games, but and then with Nintendo, I always know that with each system or each new thing, I will always get like the best out of it. Like there's gonna be new Mario Kart or whatever, and I was just happily waiting on just the new games and just to be a part of the new generation.
Okay. All right. That's cool to hear. Let me finish this off. Basically, me and Katie got ours about a month later. All we use, and just like her, kind of like I know the games. I just want to play the new generation of games, but and this is gonna be a next endcast further down the road. I wanted to see what they're gonna do with what it was gonna do with the tablet, the gamepad, and all that jazz. And for me and KD, this is from our perspective, our opinion, and everybody else have their own difference. But we have used the gamepad. Unlike Dr. Feelgood with the using it in that regards, but we have used it in like the whole split screen, dual split screen. We're using the gamepad for all our games, which we're gonna be getting into and all that stuff. And that's I wanted to see who takes advantage of that. And again, there were some third parties that took advantage and made some good games for the Wii because of that. So I just wanted to see what person was going to go with that because again, Microsoft wanted to do the Microsoft Glass. And I thought, okay, Microsoft Glass is going to do that. Nintendo going to have the tablet. I don't know what Sony's going to do. So I'm thinking this is going to be something new, some new experience going to happen. Some fail, some done. Is part of being innovative, and sometimes you fail thinking stuff. Again, Virtual Boy came up, it fell, but this is what it is. But like I said, that'll be an endcast for later date. Gamepad versus no gamepad. I know there are people out there who don't like the gamepad and just wish it was just a simple thing, but we'll get to that. Like I said, when that endcast comes up. So that takes care of that. Like I said, you can hear us, King and Prachi.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, man. Like I said, I know this is really a Nintendo fanboy spot here, so I know you don't have the Wii U, so
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
like I said, we're gonna get to some. Like I
Yeah,
said, we go.
Grandpachi is cool, man. He cool. He may be kind of a loser, but he cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just letting him know like that. Like I said, it's cool to be like that. And like I said, I know yesterday was his birthday, so I know he enjoyed with his family and everything. So like I said, belated birthday and everything, bro.
Did you
Thank
get
you,
your Wii U
man.
for your birthday?
Nah, man. I'm actually like I said, I'm waiting to after E3. I mean, look, I'm looking at the Wii U still. Like, I don't know. Xenoblade. I don't know. Who knows?
I got you, man. I don't know if you caught on. Before I go to the next question, which Katie was basically killing it on. Did you caught the part that was talking about the King Apache, so you don't feel left out in a way? Because we basically going straight Nintendo still all the way. But did you caught the part that I was talking about why the voice chat now was what it is?
No, I didn't catch that one. I didn't catch that.
Okay. Basically, and basically got more people listening in now and everything, and also whatever. The basic what happened in Nintendo back in November and December, they did their whole voice chat with the family. They did a control test with people in Japan, Europe, and in America.
Hmm.
dedicated servers and everything. Make sure that their families, they had gamers who were, Nintendo fans, whatever, and they wanted to give voice chat a chance. And this is, you got to remember, I'm not saying you, 'cause I think you know this, but Nintendo is a family-centric company, one, and two, they want to make sure that it's a dummy system. Like, if parents come, they bought the system, they put it up, play it, and just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the way the company works. And I put a video up on my channel back in February. If Nintendo has a premium service that gamers want to pay into, because again, it takes money to run the servers and everything. If they want to do that, I have no problem with that. But what happened was, as they did the test, and within a couple minutes, it went straight to profanity and slang and calling the N-bombs and everything. And Nintendo was like, "Oh, hell no."
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening.
They were like, "We don't want to take the chance of somebody doing all kind of crazy stuff and whatever." You can go to Nintendo's website and check out their family code, how they have for their family. That's the stated code in Japan and in America of what they want to do with the family, and that's just what it is. I understand, because you have a video which I fully back your opinion. If you think voice chat is because you were saying because you didn't have the system, but if you think voice chat is needed in the game, and you want to boycott it, go right ahead. It's your money. We don't care. I don't care. You do what you got to do. Speak with your wallet. That's the only thing that most people listen to. The wallet.
Yeah.
But that's basically why they did that. They tried to give it a chance, and then when it's, go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to say this, like, when you, like, we all know Nintendo's family friendly and stuff, and a lot of people believe, like, it shouldn't matter that, I guess what they're trying to say is, how like other companies still, like, allow people to say whatever they want. I kind of like the fact that it's not the fact that Nintendo's just kind of strict on, what they allow you to say or what not. It's just the fact that every company's different. So if Nintendo has a policy in place where they're like, look, we want to make this like all around, anybody can enjoy this console. So yeah, like cursing and stuff like that, not everybody's into that, so they want to make sure they have some type of quality control on that. I don't even think that's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a problem at all.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, it's just one of those things, because I saw your video about Nintendo hypocrisy, and I agree with basically most of what you were saying there, too, with the fans and everything. It's just that we need to look at things. One of the things I always say when it comes to gaming or anything, we need to, the number one reason a lot of things are done, of course, is money. That's it. Number one reason is always about cash. And the second is, it might be something else beyond it that sometimes we know and we don't know. We don't know. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So it's just one of those things Nintendo did, because remember, back when the first crash happened, it was Miyamoto, it was Nintendo selling their game console as a toy, and my mom and Dr. Feelgood's mom and Katie's mom and maybe all parents who bought the system thinking it was a toy and having fun with it. They didn't think of it as a video game thing at all. And that's when Nintendo saved the gaming market. So, but I just wanted to make sure, like I said, that kind of, to let the people out there know that kind of stuff. So with that said, let's get into basically what Katie was going, and I'm gonna let her finish it off. Next question is Nintendo Land. Some people like it, some people hate it, but what was your experience with Nintendo Land? So Katie, what's your experience with Nintendo Land?
I thought it was, it was something new in the sense of, when you get with the games that comes with the system.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like how the Wii had just, Wii Sports and stuff like that, it was something completely new, and it put all the IPs that Nintendo has together in like a carnival-based attraction type game.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite was Octopus. I don't remember the name of it, but it was the best thing ever because it had music, and you had to do it in time with the beats. And when any musical type game that has to do with like in time and beats and stuff like that, I'm your girl. Like seriously, I love those games. So I spent like weeks on that, just in general.
Okay, that's cool. What about you, Dr. Fielgo? What was your experience with Nintendo Land, and basically also what was your favorite attraction?
One more time.
I was saying, what was your experience with Nintendo Land, and what was your favorite attraction? You know, the little mini game.
Um, for my wife and I, Zelda's Battle Quest. That game was easy to pick up and quite literally hard to master. I think there are 9 levels, and like you can easily pick it up and play with the sword. I mean, play with the shield or the sword. I'm sorry, the bow and arrow or the sword.
Hmm.
And but it has a an extra perk that if you can beat a level without taking any damage, you mastered the level. I think my wife has mastered 8 out of the 9. I think I'm around like 4. Yeah, so that game, I think she's probably put in well over 100 hours in just that game. And that's just
Wow.
one of the mini games in there. I think she played the Ninja Star one. I forget what it's called. Also the
Takahashi's Castle, no, something like that.
yeah, and then also the Donkey Kong one. Um,
Oh goodness.
yes,
Oh, I was addicted. I was addicted
getting
to that
past
one.
Area 10 is a bitch. And then even when you finally do beat it, you get to the next area, you don't have enough lives left to actually complete it. Because it's like you wasted most of your lives getting past the first one. You get to the next level, you're like, oh crap! So if I die once, it's over. Like
Yeah, that was.
it's
I was
difficult.
just okay.
And then also the Yoshi one, the Yoshi yarn one or whatever. We have to actually draw
The
him on the
path.
map to go to the hole. Yeah, the
Yeah.
path. That one was pretty fun. I even played the F-Zero one quite a few times with the in-game live camera, and that was pretty cool.
Okay.
But the best
Yeah, I
one
know.
is Luigi's Ghost Mansion.
Oh, okay. I know, Katie. Of course, with the whole Donkey Kong Kart thing, that was very addicting and very. That one get a couple explicit.
She's not the only one. I played the fifth on that one. I went ham on that one. And then when my sister beat my high
Just getting
score, I
to
said, yeah, when my sister beat my high score, that's when I really got vexed.
You want to say something, Katie?
I said just getting to the next area in general was enough for me. I was like, I'm done.
I got you. I got you.
Nice. It's that bit where you have to hop across. That was where, like, I always had difficulty with that part.
It was, man. It
I,
was.
I I think I know what you're talking
Well,
about.
since you
It's
joined
like
it,
three
since you
hops.
Yeah,
three
basically.
hops, that was hard, and you got to make sure that you land gently on those things, or you just basically died.
Oh,
And
God,
trust
Man,
me,
that
of course,
that little cart needs some more shock absorbers. Because sometimes that thing piss me off.
the thing about it too is when you get to the point where you get an extra life, then seconds later you lost that extra life. You're like, dang it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So since you're already talking Double M, I'll just get you back up. Basically, what is the reason? When did you bought your Wii U? Why did you bought it? And also jump in with Nintendo Lands. What was your favorite attraction? So that were the 3 questions. That's to catch you back up with us now.
I got my Wii U at launch. Well, UK launch.
Yeah.
I got it at midnight launch, and the first 3 games I got for it were Zombie U, New Super Mario Brothers U, and Nintendo Land. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, what was you gonna say? I was gonna.
I'm gonna say then what you play Nintendo Land, just like we just basically asking what's your experience and what was your favorite attraction.
Nintendo Land's awesome. Like, it reminded me of like old school arcade games, but with a modern feel. I think if I had to say my favorite one, it would probably be the Donkey Kong one. The amount of time and frustration I put into that. But a lot of the ones I played, like I played a lot of like my sister, she really liked the Pikmin one, and I played a lot of that with her, and
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
yeah, she just plowed through the whole thing. I'm just there as coming behind her like the little Pikmin and just trying to help out. And but yeah, to be honest, I liked all of them. But yeah, the Donkey Kong one and probably the F-Zero one are my favorite ones because they really give you that like proper old school arcade kind of feel. But with a group of people, if you're playing with a group of people, to me, the what was that Mario one where you have to hide and whatever? Chase
Luigi
Mario or
Mansion.
something.
Yeah, Chase Mario. That one's pretty fun too.
Yeah, that was when you have like a group of people and you're all playing that gets so hectic.
But to me, when it comes to the group game, man, that Luigi's Mansion was crazy. Like people start cursing. I had family over playing with children, and it got out of hand for some of the adults.
I hear you. Like I said, that's what that's what some of these games do to you. So okay, that's cool. George, what about you? If you play Nintendo Land, what was your favorite attraction if you play the game?
I liked F-Zero.
The F-Zero one?
Yeah, the F-Zero one.
Okay. I will have to say for me, it seems like say with Katie, we got Nintendo Land, and yeah, just like everybody else, for us, we went ham on it. The Ninja Star one was good. The one with the Pikmin, we got into the Zelda one, but the one that, of course, because who I am as a fan, we got into that Metroid one, and
Oh, that
man,
Metro one was awesome.
That was
that one
ridiculous.
was we got all this, we got the star in that one, so we got all the masters and everything, and that was crazy hard. Including when he got to the last part, we got the double Ridley and then Kraden Ridley and holy crap!
Oh, but let's not forget about the attraction that is not really advertised, and that's that little coin game. Like when you get coins from the mini game, you get to play this little coin game.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
So,
I
like,
forgot about that.
So like
That-
get music or like
Yeah.
the little,
attractions and stuff
the
like
little
that.
props for the Nintendo Land Plaza. And what pissed me off about that game is that game at first is kind of cool, then it gets really freaking annoying.
You know what it
Because
reminds me of? It reminds me of the machines where you put money in and you're waiting for the money to drop out the other side and it's just never happening.
no, it's even worse than that. To me, it reminds me of a bootleg game of Plinko.
Plinko.
Except you rarely win. It's like, okay, dude, I've had to drop like 30 damn dots just to get this one, and I still got 7 more to go.
I hear you. I understand that how that works out like that, man. That is cool. And that game did give you like, how the heck you get? But when you got the stuff and you walk around and you touch the music box and the attractions and everything, for a demo game, they did a good job from developing. Again, I mean, it showed off the tablet, but it wasn't that fire like how the sports were. So it didn't catch on with a lot of people.
Mhm.
Again, this is one of the things Nintendo has a problem with is you have to play certain games first before you understand how it's fun it is.
It was one
You
of
can't
those
explain
games. Nintendo Land was one of those games where it was very easy to kind of like pick up and play, but to like master it, like beat the high, like get really good high scores and all like the
The
collectible
stars.
things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a very hard game to master.
I know, 'cause like I said, there's some people again. It's the whole hardcore, casual, whatever anybody want to think is. But trust me, I know certain people would not play that game and be like, man, they get like Dr. Fugo said, you get really frustrated when you play these certain games. So that's how it's gonna, that was what that game was.
Even that little underwater dance game, that got frustrating after a while. Like at first you're thinking stuff is so easy, and then eventually, it just gets so. They start moving so fast and doing so many moves. You have to memorize all of them and do them in time with the beat as well.
Well, Katie got the star for that one because she mastered that thing. It took her weeks. I was like, good God, she got.
She a better player than me. I'll tell you that much.
I love music games. I love them.
So.
Did you ever get that dancing stage Mario mix on the GameCube?
No, because I think she was back we didn't get, and I didn't. We didn't buy it because she was back home and she was back in the islands, and we didn't. She didn't have the space to do none of that stuff or
Oh,
play.
okay.
Yeah, we didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
that game was awesome, man. I had that game. Like, there's some of the beat, some of the way they remix some of the beats was just amazing.
Oh, I didn't. I ain't doubting that. I ain't doubting
In
that.
fact, if I can find another copy of that, I'm buying it.
Hey, good for
Just
you,
turn my
bro.
room into like a little dance studio.
All right, let's. I'm gonna. This is basically now from here on. We're gonna break it up differently. So I hope everybody listen to what I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna break down. We're gonna go through the libraries of. I mean, the library of the last 2.5 years with the Nintendo Wii U. Now, what happened? What it is? I'm gonna break it down into 3 sections, and you tell me what game you were playing within that section. That you're like, oh man, this was awesome for that 3 section. And basically, it's gonna break it down like spring, which is from February to May, summer, which is from June to September, and October to January is winter.
Yeah.
So
Don't even bother say spring 2015 because everyone here is gonna give you the same answer.
well, I'm not saying that. On my point, I'm leaving that out. That's why I'm what.
Just making sure, just clarifying.
Is it
No, I
not?
said it in my. That's what I said in my poll question. That's what I said in my poll question. Other than Splatoon, what game is your favorite game? That's why I said I'd take that out. But let's go with 2013's winter. I will start. I will start with Dr. Feelgood. What game between that you were playing the most of, or what's your memories of between the beginning of the Wii U until May of 2014?
Yeah, 2014 or 2013?
14.
14? Oh man.
I mean 13. You're right. You're right. My mistake. 13. You're so right. I'm my mistake. Yeah, 13. You're right.
To be quite honest, the game I played the most probably put in about a good 50 or 60 hours. Um, it would have to be, I think it was Lego City Undercover. I think it released like in February
Okay.
or March, somewhere around there in 2013.
Hmm.
Great game. It's basically Grand Theft Auto without the violence, and it was just fun. The humor was classic. They took so many things from so many different movies, but the game was just fun. Complete. I did not 100% it. I didn't collect everything. I got about like maybe 85% done. But yeah, that's the game I think I played the most in that time frame.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What about you, Michael? What if you bought it from that time? What was your game that you played the most that you
What was
liked?
the time period?
2000 was basically went between the beginning of the end of 2012 to May of 2013.
Um, hmm. Trying to think because I was playing quite a few games then. Um, it's a tough choice between Trying to and Zombie U. I don't know which one I
Okay.
probably put more hours into. If I had to give the one I put more hours into, definitely Trying to. That game was amazing.
Okay. That
Hmm.
was a downloadable game, and the visuals for that game was very awesome.
It
The
was
way they
just
did it.
it wasn't even just the visuals. It was an awesome puzzle game. Like
It
it's the
was.
puzzle platforming elements. I mean, you had more or less the freedom to do what you wanted, but you still had to you s- you had the freedom to do what you wanted,
Mhm.
but you still had to think about your next move. There was never just one way of overcoming an obstacle. You had to think of different ways. That's what I like about the game. You had the opportunity to think of your own unique way to overcome puzzles based on the resources you have.
Okay.
And it's just like
That
the
is.
music as well. The music as well. Some of the dialogue and everything. I mean, there wasn't much dialogue, but the dialogue that was there, the little storybook telling of it was just brilliant. It was like when you kind of like it reminds you of when you watch them kind of like old medieval tale cartoons.
Mhm.
That's what it kind of reminded me of. Like when you know them ones you kind of used to watch back in the days, and they used to have like the whole wizard voice telling the story, wizard type of voice telling the story, and then you had the adventures and everything, and all this crazy little comedy going on in between. It reminded me
Okay.
of that kind of stuff, and I just think even though it was an indie game, it had quality that rivaled, if not went beyond, a lot of games that came out on full retail.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
I would have to say, okay, so I'll go to George. You back in?
Yes.
Okay, what was your game you played from launch until May of 2013? Was it a game that piqued your interest, that you played a lot, George? All right.
Oh
I'll,
shoot. I'm sorry.
okay.
I just noticed that my mic was on mute. But game that I played a lot was Call of Duty Black Ops. I thought it was really good on the Wii U. I
I
played that.
forgot about that one, man. I played
Yeah.
that game tons.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. That's a good setup. What about okay, Katie? What about you? What game you played the most?
I think it would have to be Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. I was playing a lot of that
Yep, that.
because goodness, that game was fun and a workout. My fingers hurt trying to get all those combos, and the logic of that game was just upsetting, but it was also fun.
It was a fun game, and yeah, I've seen you try to get your combos in, and yeah, like I said, that's what I'm saying. Just because she's a female, guys, don't mean she don't know how to handle her stuff. Cause she went ham on that game. I was like, dang. Now, of course, when it comes to combo games, me and her's got this competition. We're not got a competition.
Whatever, it's not a competition. He makes it a competition.
She hates it when we do combo games because I always get the crazy combos when it comes to stuff like that. So that's what it is.
He's
And
always telling me about it, like, "Hey, Katie, look," and I'm like, "I don't care."
but when you beat it, you tell me when you beat my combos.
I tell you calmly, a little bit, but I don't care.
She doesn't let the ego get the best of her.
Yeah, well, I hear that. For me, I would have to say, I played Black Ops. That was a pretty good game. Treyarch did a very good port of that game. And one of those things that I like, the split screen thing, that was pretty good. I like that. That was awesome because, like I said, my friend came over. He was a dual stick person. I used my TV for the remote, and we had a ball. We had a ball. We had fun. Of course, Ninja Gaiden, because Katie just said, I played along with her, and I beat the game and did all the crazy stuff. But the game I played the most and I had the fun with was Arkham Armored City Edition. That to me was a good port, a good game from WB when they ported it over. Using the gamepad, the way that they did it, I liked it. I have no problems the way they use the game plan. They use it. I wish, telling the truth, I wish Watch Dogs did mirror some of the stuff that they did in that
Yes.
game.
Yeah,
Because
because and then what they did with Origins was the opposite of Armored Edition. But I put a lot of hours in the Armored Edition too. The game was very enjoyable.
yeah, it ran good. They used the Wii gamepad. Like I said, I love the whole tracking. You got to figure out the codes, and then you got to do the whole touch screen to unlock the stuff. And you use the batarang to use the gyroscopes and everything. So they went ham on that port, and it basically was a great port. I had no problem with it. It was a good game, and that's the one I spend the most time on. Now, like I said, I don't want to let him feel left out a little bit if he's still in or whatever. But I listened to a lot of your videos, King. So I know you say you had buyer's remorse or not, and I don't, like I said, some people do certain things like that. But was there any game that that I should say in that bracket interested you?
I didn't have the U at launch. I don't remember when I bought the Wii U. Like I think when the Zelda bundle came out. But
Okay,
I
so
was
you
playing.
bought it. Go ahead.
I was playing like I guess games that were around launch. I think the game I played the most around that time would probably be Batman.
Armored
Arkham
Edition.
Armored Edition. Yeah, I played that. I beat it on the Xbox, but I bought it again and played it on the Wii U. I actually enjoyed it, so I guess that would count.
Yeah. Did you see? Did you like the difference or what it did in the games or not? I mean, yeah. I'm just asking you for your opinion, just
The
to see what it is.
differences, the
'Cause
differences were cool. It wasn't like mind blowing, but I mean, it was, it was still Batman Arkham City, which was a great game. So it being on the Wii U, it was still going to be a great game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but the reason I'm asking because of the gamepad. Like I explained how the gamepad function. I mean, like I said, I don't think it would blow your mind, but I just like the way that at least they try to implement something different from something else. You know?
Yeah, I did like the what I forgot which batarang it is. The one when you throw it, it goes in like it kind of follows the batarang. You use the gyroscope to control it.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing that. That's probably the most I can remember with the. You can also just aim with it too. I forgot. Yeah, if you just want to throw a batarang, you could just like aim it. You can move the Wii U gamepad up and down if you wanted to.
Okay. No, that's cool. And that's okay. That's a game. And basically, I'm gonna ask you that kind of stuff. Just keep you in the chat if it's any game that come up in that section that you might have liked. Okay. So
Got it.
okay, like I said, I know you went. Like I said, I know how you going back and just don't want to leave you feel left out and going back and forth with stuff. I have to say, let me pay this out just because sometimes we go long and not. I hopefully I try to keep it short. Double M.
But yeah, go on.
I know. Basically, Player Essence have a question. He wanted to know. Let me see. Oh, he wanted to know where you were when the Splatoon truck got held up.
Oh, I didn't even know it got held up until I got to the game store to pre-order, and then I found out about the whole thing.
I know, right?
Like,
It's kind of weird that.
When they told me at the game shop, I thought they was bullshitting. I thought they was just joking around, because you know how people are in game shops. A lot of them are like want to be comedians. But yeah, I thought. Huh? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought the guy was joking around at first, and I was just like, nah, this sounds too far-fetched. And they were just saying, they got the confirmation from Nintendo themselves and everything. I'm just like, damn. But fortunately, I managed to order my amiibo pack off from imported from Australia, and it actually came, but I wasn't there to pick up the post, so I have to go to the postal office to get it up tomorrow.
Well, at least yours didn't get jacked.
Yeah, I was so vexed when that happened. But the main thing is I was able to get the game, and I'm able to get the amiibo, so no harm, no foul. I mean, I had to pay a little extra for the amiibos because of like importing them over and everything. But
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Be careful walking home tomorrow, so they don't rob you.
please, I want to see them try.
Yeah,
15.
these guys.
They gotta go through 15 stone of muscle and bone structure to try and do that.
Okay, I hear you. All right, let's go. Let's keep on going with which this I have to say this one was because of what so me and Katie has a 3DS. So I'll start this one out. It was one of the hardest part. This was really a sparse part, which was summer 2013. Now a game did came out which was pretty good, and I didn't play it at that time. I played it later, but what happened was me and Katie we got Project X Zone for 3DS, and we sucked in weeks into that game. So summer 2013, of course. Basically, at that time, 3DS was killing it because you had Luigi's Dark Mansion, Cross Zone.
3DS was going ham that year.
So I would say, yeah, and I would say that's the sparsest. That's the sparsest I would say, in my opinion.
Do you remember that direct they had for the 3DS as well in April in that year?
Mm-hmm.
When they went like the amount of 3DS content they showed was crazy.
Yeah, that being that we have 3DSs, me and Katie and maybe everybody, some other people also have it here. That was the sparsest time because again you had Fire Emblem, you had Luigi's Dark Mansion, you had all these games coming out. So summer was kind of sparse. One game did came out, like I said, that people were playing.
But that's the thing. A lot of people don't really. A lot of people get upset, when they don't get games in like the summer period and the spring period, which is, to be honest, spring period. Well, I can't really say much spring period, but summer period, like why you're not putting your games down and going outside is beyond me. But that's people's business. But
hey, that could just be us. But let's not go.
But what I was going to say is that usually around the spring and summertime, that's when, you know, Nintendo releases a lot of their handheld games. And then when it comes to like the fall and the winter, that's when you see a lot of console games. So, you know, I don't know why people, and it's always kind of been like that, you know.
I
So,
mean, it's on every console because sometimes there's some springs. There was some summers that Xbox, what the Xbox did, which is basically, see, Nintendo subsidized it with the handheld. Wow, Xbox, they do the whole instead of PlayStation, they do the whole indie drive of giving you free games and all that stuff. This
mhm.
Xbox Summer, Arcade Summer, and stuff like that. So there were no there are not that many triple games that come out in the summer. So, but one game
Yeah,
that
because
did came out.
they expect people to being sensible businessmen that they are, they suspect that people, instead of buying games, are gonna go outside during the summer. So you know, if y'all ain't
I don't
going
know. I don't
outside,
know about.
if y'all ain't going outside in the summertime and not enjoying the sun and getting that vitamin D up in your system, then you can't be very happy.
Okay, all right. Well, one game did came out and came out to the summer, so I'll kind of skip that. But like I said, I played that later on, and that game was Pikmin 3, and I kind of liked it. I played it, but I played it last year instead of I played it 2014 and then. So what I'm gonna do is jump to winter of I'm gonna jump to the winter of 2013,
I have
and
a
I'll start.
question.
Yeah,
Would August be counted in winter or summer?
summer.
Summer.
Because summer 101, wonderful 101,
Oh yeah. Take it away. I forgot about that. You are so right, girl.
which is my game, because that was awesome as crap. It was a mix of Bayonetta and Pikmin, I think, and Beautiful Joe, but I think, and a little bit of Okami, so it's just a big old mix
And a little
all
bit of
together.
absolute badassery.
Yes. 101 was the best. I wish it had more sales and whatnot, but I loved 101 so much.
Yeah, I still need to get into that game. I've had that game on my Wii because it was one of the free games I got when I got Mario Kart
Oh
8.
yeah, I forgot to give you
Yeah,
to give you that.
and I still need to start getting into it. I haven't started getting into it yet. You know, it's not one of them ones where I'm not really feeling the game because I played the demo and I loved it. It's more a case of, you know, it's one of those ones where I know if I start getting into it, I'm not gonna stop. It was like that with
True.
Xenoblade. It took me 2 years to get into to start properly playing Xenoblade, simply because I just didn't have the time. But
Okay.
no, my summer game for me was definitely Pikmin 3. That game was, oh my god, it was absolutely amazing. Like the game actually made me get emotional. Like if a Pikmin died, I felt so bad. Like I remember one time I was leaving. The planet, and I was looking everywhere for this last Pikmin. Literally looking, I'm thinking, where is this? I had one Pikmin remaining. I'm looking everywhere for this Pikmin. Can't find it for life or money. And you know, time ran out, and as the spaceship was flying away, I just see this one little Pikmin flying around, and all the creatures at nighttime coming to eat, and I'm just like, no, why? I
Yeah.
felt so bad for this one. But no, I loved it. Like the game was just because I love like wildlife things and like the
Okay.
attention to detail on just some of like like you could tell that you could look at the game and you could still tell that it was based off a Wii engine
Mhm.
because Pikmin, as most of us know, Pikmin was originally designed for the Wii.
Well,
But
they did. Well, basically when they figure out how to do the whole Pikmin 1 and 2 play, the one where they're using the Wii remote, they figured out okay, we could start doing this. That's where they started development for the Pikmin 3
hmm
when they ported it. So yeah, you're right on the whole. Yeah, they did come off of that when they did the Wii
yeah,
setup.
and where you look at the game, you can still tell where it's still kind of originally a Wii engine,
Hmm.
but even so, like some of the details in that game, when you see like the fruits and you see the different creatures and things like that, you know, it was a beautiful game to look at as you're playing it. Like I remember when I looked at before I got the game, I was looking at the Miiverse screenshots and I was looking at them. I said to myself, I must put a post in Miiverse and said, does the game really look this good? Because the Miiverse screenshots were amazing, and they said it looks even, and you know, someone reposted saying it looks even better when you're playing it. And I didn't believe that until I started playing it. I'm just like, you know, like everywhere you turn in this game is something beautiful to look at.
Oh, I know, Katie. We basically us with the fruits, right?
They were just so pretty.
I wanted to take them out the TV with my own hands. That's how good they looked.
Well, that was a game that came up through the summer like that. So
To think that was an early Wii U game.
mhm.
That was an early
101.
Wii U game that was based off of a Wii engine. Like, considering what they did with that, was amazing.
True. All right. Well, let's just trying to keep it moving in a way. Let's jump to winter. And like I said, I'll let King start it since he said he bought the Zelda Wii U at that time. Or was it Zelda was the only one that you HD that you played, or was any other game that jumped out to you, King Rinpoche?
At that time, what did I have? I had Zelda. Like, what year are we in? Because I don't remember.
2013.
2013. Yeah, okay. So I had the Zelda bundle. I had Mario. What else did I have? And I had Batman. I think that's all I had at the time.
All right.
Zelda,
Any
Mario,
game
and Batman.
so which Mario had was the Mario Super Mario Bros. U or the new the Super Mario 3D Land?
I had both of them.
Oh, okay, okay. Any one of them talk to you like, oh man, this was at least a good game that could say, you know what, I'm happy that at least.
Wind Waker HD and 3D World. Like, U was okay, but I didn't particularly like it that much.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
But about 3D World, 3D Land, and Zelda, those talk to you more.
Yeah, those were really good games. Zelda is still like that's digital, so if I do get a Wii U, I just log in and it should be there.
Yeah, because if you have the thing, you should be able. You have the receipts from your code. You should get it back.
Yeah.
So okay, George, are you still there? What game in the 2013 winter that you like? Like I said, you had Zelda, you had Mario, 3D Land, game that you jumped to that you liked. I mean, you still have Black Ops Ghost, which hey, a lot of people didn't like it, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving you ideas of games that came on that time zone. George,
Is
he
it on mute again?
must be.
Lost him.
It must be. Double M. What about you? What was your game of that time that made you that you liked?
Again, it's a hard one. It's between Wind Waker HD and 3D World because I really loved Wind Waker HD, but I really love Wind Waker HD simply for the tingle bottles. Like it was like having a consistent Twitter feed in your game. Like I would be playing with the gamepad as like a secondary screen and just using the Pro controller, and then I just leave the feeds up I drowned collecting some of those bottles. Like seriously, it's just like you're so focused on your adventure, you're moving forward and everything, going to wherever you're going, and then you see a bottle in the water and you just like stop, everything pause, your whole adventure just stops there just to go and get that bottle. And it was just really cool because even though it was a single player game, it felt like you was connected to everyone that was playing it.
Okay.
And also as well, item management on the gamepad was just top notch. Like just the fact that I'm playing with my Pro controller, I just tap on the gamepad to see which item I want to map where. I can have my map So a lot of people played Wii with the gamepad played Wind Waker HD with the gamepad in their hand, but I always thought it was best played with the controller as a secondary screen and use the Pro controller.
Okay. I mean, I play with the gamepad, but I guess again, to each is everybody's own.
Well, that's the good thing with the Wii U. You have different control options to work with.
Yep. What about?
If I had to say the best one was definitely 3D World. Like 3D World was just amazing. Like there's no other way to really describe it. The game was just amazing, and like me and my sister played a lot of that. I had like friend my little sister and her cousins came around and stuff. They were all playing it. Proper like working together and strategizing on what to do next and stuff. Me, I played that game like mad. I haven't finished Champions Road, but that game is brilliant. I'm feeling like if Splatoon, I was about to say crack something, but if Splatoon wasn't so addictive right now, I'd probably pop that game back in. But right now, like feel like I'm having withdrawal symptoms as we even have this podcast. It's like,
Okay,
you know that
that's
scene from American Dad where Stan was just like, I wish I was dead. Anyone else wish they were dead? I'm gonna go take out the trash.
I hear you. Um, okay, what about you, Katie? What was your game that you liked?
Well, I think during that time I was playing a lot of Sonic Lost World and
That's a good
3D and 3D Land.
Hmm.
Well, because Lost World came out first, I think.
Yeah.
I was playing mostly that, and then I got upset because I'm literally one stage away from the final boss, and I can't pass it for some reason. So good thing 3D Land came out, so I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm going to 3D Land. And then 3D Land was so amazing, like just the music, the stages, the textures, and the Bowser. It was like just great. It was Cat Bowser was like the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Like I wonder what they're gonna do with Bowser. Oh, he's a cat. Okay.
Yeah, cat with a massive casino. He had his own version of Las Vegas, basically.
Yep.
His final stage was the best stage for me because of the music and how it looked. It was just,
Hmm.
it was something different than the usual. Okay, this is my castle filled with lava and death. It was just different, and I really loved it. And the theme in general was just great.
All right. Well, for me, I have the joy. I got a joy right there with my sister. Yep. Basically, I played that 3D World was It took me because 3D Land. It took me because
3D
World.
World,
I'm sorry,
actually.
3D World. You're right. Yeah, 3D World. It took me because the same way too. I like the gameplay. I like the music. I like the aesthetics. But like I said, I like the way like you said, Double M. Once you beat the game, you go beyond the regular game as usual, the post game, and those things. The challenges ramped up. So it's again one of
Yep.
those things that you're like, okay, this is good, this is all right. Because Nintendo basically starts you in most of the time when they play the
Yeah.
game, it starts you in soft, so you'll be like, okay. And most gamers will get bored with it. That is, again, everybody has their own taste. But once you get to a point, you're like, wow, I gotta really put some skills in this. And again, being at the studio and seeing stuff, and then hear the stories and see how they created 3D World, how they just had fun with this lady just saying, let's talk about a cat, and they have the fun. That's what, if you see the development of Nintendo's games in their studios, is like, you're like, these guys are having fun making their games.
Oh yeah, like another thing. Didn't you could have
Yeah, because they don't have
chosen?
some corporate hack douchebag telling them what to do.
Well, again, I've seen that when I was working with EA and stuff. I saw the pitch meetings. Those ideas got killed quickly.
I'm
Was
sorry,
it
Kate,
there?
you were saying.
Was it there like where you could choose who you wanted to play as? So like you could play as Peach if you wanted to, or Toad
Yep,
and
yep,
whatnot,
yep. This was the one in a long time that you could play as anybody. Princess Peach was not the damsel in distress.
which
So you
was
could,
great.
yep. You play your games and you have fun, and that's all it was. And everybody had their different. They went back to the Super Mario Brothers 2 of Toad's fast, Mario's high, you
Peach can
know,
float, which I
the
love.
flow, we jump super high and have that weird slippery walking, which I don't like. But yeah, so we had
Yeah,
that.
when I played with my sister, I always used to, because I always used to play as Toad, I always used to be like leaving her behind and she was be getting annoyed. Because Toad runs so fast.
So we had that was the game that stand out at that point. Then we should go to so after that we go to summer of 2000, not summer, spring of 2014. Now, once again, I have to admit that one was a sparse spot too, because the game I play, I'll start it off. The game I played the most between that and Katie saw that was I played, even though it was a good port, bad port, I still like the game Batman Origins. I played that mostly, and because I ain't bought Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. A lot of people love that. Red Knight and all those other guys, Mr. T and everybody, they worship that game, which is cool. For me, I didn't. It ain't nothing against Donkey Kong, but again, not every Nintendo game is a first buy or need for me. I just look at what I like and I pay what I play. So, Batman Origins at that time was a game that took my, took me and made me feel to beat the game. I didn't care for the DLC. I just wanted to play the game, I played it. I enjoyed it. I wish as Katie, when you were watching me, I still wish it was Mark Hamilton doing Joker because I didn't like the new Joker voice. I love Mark Hamilton way better playing that Joker voice. But it is what it is. But I'll go with, like I said, I'll go reverse mode. Katie, what game do you think stand out for spring of 2014?
2014. Can you come back to me on that?
All right.
I'm trying to remember, like seriously.
Yeah, because
I
it
can
was
go.
it was a sparse time between there too. So anybody basically Double M, George, anybody have
Yeah.
what games you were yeah, what games you were playing
Uh, I like
spring?
Super Mario 3D World.
So you were
Mario
playing that during
3D
that
World.
time?
Yeah.
Okay.
In 2014, it was a really beautiful game. It was really good, and I was amazed on how good it looked, and had a great story and everything. I think it was um the best 3D Mario game on the Wii U as of right now. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Double M?
What was I playing at the time? Because during that time, I wasn't really until Mario Kart came out. I wasn't really playing my Wii U. I was on my PC. I was what was I playing? I was playing Saints Row 4.
Okay.
Does it have to be a Wii U game?
Well, basically, we're talking about a Wii U gaming library.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well,
No,
then, yeah,
it's cool.
then,
I mean,
yeah.
like I said,
It's Mario Kart 8 then. Mario Kart 8.
well,
That's what I was playing a lot of.
okay.
I even did like a
Well,
hype video for it. I don't know if you've seen it.
okay. Okay.
My
And
Mario
I
Kart 8 hype
forgot.
video.
I forgot about that game came out during the spring in the way it was set up. You're right. Mario Kart 8 came out and it was cool. What about you? Want to say something, Katie?
No, I was gonna say Mario Kart 8.
Okay, Mario Kart
Mhm.
8. There's the same way too. Yeah, but I have to
Yeah,
admit, yeah, because
there
again,
was a lot of cursing on my end on Mario Kart 8. If you like watch some of the live streams on Mega Gamer's channel, I was raging a lot. Like
oh, I saw a lot of people raging from Alex to Coupon to everybody else. So yeah, they're raging and stuff like that. So okay, there you go. I mean, I forgot about Mario Kart. You're right. I basically me and
I
Katie
was
picked that
one of
up.
them.
Huh?
I said I was one of the ragers.
I think we all were.
Yeah, because they made that game. Yeah, because of
Ridiculous. Fun and ridiculous.
Hmm.
fun and ridiculous. Yeah, I mostly said we played it mostly to the summer of 2014 because that's why I forgot about it because we played it through the summer. We enjoyed it through the summer, and with that summer too, that's when I picked up Pikmin. And because like you said with the wonderful one-on-one double buy with you, Micah, the same thing I did with the same with buying it, picking up Pikmin, and I played it and I enjoyed it. I was like, oh, okay, this is again the puzzles, the way that they did it, and of course the story was kind of crazy if in the way of what it's supposed to be. Including when Louis did something in Pikmin, I was like, when Louis took the fruits, I was like, you son of a gun. You came on the ship and you robbed everybody of their food.
Hmm.
So Pikmin took over to that point. And like I said, every console has sparse libraries in certain times. So that was sparse into a way. Now I played some games on a Wii that was Wii U during those times, and I want to hold it back to a question I have later on in this endcast. So I'll go in. I'll basically skip now to the one, and then everybody can answer this one because this one is really was basically the Wii U came out on its own after Mario Kart. Wii U came into its own. I have to admit that, and became really something different from everybody else, which is last year winter.
Well, I wanted to say something to Liger.
Yeah,
You played a lot of Guacamelee too in the
that's what I
summer.
was gonna say. That's what I'm gonna leave that later. I know I was. I want to
Sounds
leave that to. I have a question about that. That I was gonna leave later on.
Cool.
Okay, but 2014, basically from summer to the winter, games was coming out rapid fire, bing bang, boom bang, bang bang. Nintendo was killing, knocking them out. We have Hyrule Warriors, we have Bayonetta, we had Smash Brothers, we had just big games. So I'll start with you, Double M. What game out of those that speak to you the most?
Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule
I mean,
Warriors.
don't get me wrong, I love Smash, but Smash is Smash, whichever
Yeah.
way you look at it.
Okay.
Hyrule Warriors was, well, for one, it was a different spin on the Dynasty Warriors franchise with the Zelda skin and everything, and two, I liked how it actually took characters from the Zelda franchise and shown some of the things that they were really capable of.
Hmm.
Like, because obviously with Legend of Zelda games, you only really play as Link, and it's more about exploration than anything. So you don't really see what Link is really able to do, or any of the other characters in the Legend of Zelda lore. I mean, being able to get to use Ganondorf, who was an absolute beast in the game.
With his
Like,
beautiful hair.
huh?
With his beautiful hair.
Mhm. Nah, I didn't- like, nah, he was just a beast. Like when I first started using him, I felt a surge of power that I'd never experienced before. I was just like,
Okay.
when I use Gandalf, I realized to myself, like, this guy is like, how does Link actually defeat this guy? And then the only conclusion I had to come to is that if Link didn't have that Master Sword, he would get raped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Ganondorf was an absolute beast in that game. Like I said, the surge of power you feel, but it was just fun because it was a different approach. It was nice to see like a spin-off of something. And it was I just to me it was one of the more newer experiences. To me, it was one of the more newer experiences on the Wii U that to be honest, I think is a little underrated.
Well, it didn't under,
Huh?
it was under. It might be underrated, but it ain't underrated in sales and
Nah, the game
profits.
sold very well. Tecmo Koei was happy. But yeah, no, Hyrule Warriors definitely. I mean, that was a really good game. Just too much content to complete, man. Like
Yeah.
every time you part way through the content that was already on the disc, they release a whole new load of content.
Yeah. And like I said, and like I said, they made profits. Let's see what Koei Tech was already talking to Nintendo to do something else, and I said, wait till the next console to do that, because I don't want you to be, beat it over a horse with this game.
Hmm.
And I
Yeah,
would say,
you only, there is one company that have a perfect opportunity to do a collaboration with Nintendo. I mean, all I'm saying is, Namco, Nintendo, Soul Calibur, Fire Emblem Edition.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, I
All
want to say,
I'm saying, the two franchises work perfectly together.
you want a next crossover.
Yes, Fire Emblem and Soul Calibur.
Okay, okay. Well, I'll say this because before I go into KD and everybody else, it was, I mean, because I know King listened to me when I was doing, I had basically just an update to our channel and saying stuff, and I didn't say the way I wanted to say it perfectly at that time because I couldn't get the words together, and because he asked a question, which he has his channel, he was talking about the whole what do you call it, the content with the whole season pass, which again, I have no problem with anybody's season pass, just depending on what you want out of the game, but the thing that I was trying to point out in that video, and like I said, I hope I can explain it better now, was when I saw the first map and I saw it, the first Adventures map, I'm like, oh, this thing is humongous. Of course, me and Katie, we trying to beat that thing. It's a big map, and I was like, okay, this is something we're gonna do to keep it going. Then the first DLC came out of the pack, which was the Master Quest. And when the Master Quest came out, they gave you skins, they gave you weapons, they upped the level cap, they gave you new characters, and they gave you they made a venture, they gave you a new venture map, and they gave you make it harder scenarios. So with that and seeing the videos on YouTube, then I was like, okay, you know what? I see basically where Nintendo's gonna go with Koei Tecmo. Nintendo's going with this thing, so I'm gonna buy a season pass because I see what it was going forward with, and basically
Hmm.
that's what they did. The how should I say the Twilight map, of course, using the whole Twilight theme scenario, and made
Now
the
there's
it made
four
the
adventure maps.
huh?
Well, now there's four adventure maps. They basically want me playing this game until I'm 50.
I know. That's what I'm saying. But that's what made me silly me by the season pass is because I got this stuff with the Master Quest. What they're gonna do? I know I was gonna get like really gonna get and see what they're gonna do. And when like I said with the Twilight map, they made sure the Twilight map used the whole dark and light and open up and teleport just like in Twilight Princess. So they give a different scenario. And the same thing with the Terraria map, which is basically the map for Majora's Mask. You have the moon, you have 72 minutes or whatever it is before the moon crash. So you have 72 moves you got to make to finish that map. That map is a recurring map. So I kind of saw what it was going to do. And my thing is to anybody out there when you do research in games, if you see certain things, because again, it's your money, I'm not going to say it's a double standard to say don't buy a season pass. But if you do know what exactly you'll get in the pack, then I don't think anybody should have an argument with what you're buying. And I saw the difference between this and maybe like how Batman season pass is because that stuff right there is $30. It is to what King was saying about the whole value. There was a cheaper price, but the content was still exponentially more than and done later on in the game than when the game came out. And that's where I stand on that point, because nobody knew what the boss pack level was going to be until it came out later, and then it took a lot of people by surprise too. So me and Katie played this game crazily. We used the double screen thing. Of course, the frame rate drops.
It wasn't that bad though. It was still
it wasn't
very playable.
It was playable. This frame rate drops, but no, like I said, nothing's perfect. That's all. Whenever I make my videos and everything, I always say nothing's perfect. The frame rate dropped. The graphics got a little muggy, but to have two people running on this massive map with all these people and doing the things they were doing, that was pretty cool. And that's me and her like that for that setup. And then of course you had Smash, and then you had just like Double M, you just said right there, Smash is Smash. It is still a good game. It runs great. It looks great. I like the items they put in there. We playing the game. We got our whole, like I said, our what do you call it? We got our GameCube adapters and everything, and we go crazy on that.
May I just point out, it's the first 1080p, 60 frames a second, 8th generation game locked at that frame rate. That's just saying. You know, all the people who said the Wii U can't do 1080p, 60 frames. I'm just saying. Like there isn't a game on the PS4 or the Xbox One that has locked 60 frames at 1080p. Just saying. That's all. Yeah.
I'm not getting, like I said, anybody. You guys go ahead, play your spec wars. I'm good where I'm at.
No. This is not a spec war. This is just clarifying facts. That's all.
No, I got what you're saying. I was just saying, but people, like I said, it's going back to what King was saying. Like a lot of people like to go through this whole stuff, and it's just play games. I'm not talking about what you're saying, Double A. I'm just saying like how it's basically like what you were talking about in your video that I saw today, where we arguing over stuff that's just irrelevant now. It makes sense. So that's why I'm trying to keep it. That's why I wanted to go the podcast this way. But of course, I would let Katie go because I already know the game that she liked in that cluster of games. And take it away, girl.
Well, besides from the fact that I could play as Impa and Ganondorf and Volga in Hyrule Warriors, because Volga's awesome, the game that I really loved was Bayonetta 2. That was waiting for that game, 2013, and then they pushed it back. I was like, why? But then it came out, and it was worth the wait because that game was just so amazing.
It really was.
Because because that whole thing where Bayonetta came out and it was only for Xbox and PlayStation and Wii people couldn't have it, and then it turned around where it's like a Wii U exclusive and the others could have. I was like, yes, that's what you guys get.
Yeah,
but anyways,
the arse hurt was just the fanboy arse hurt was just horrible. Like, I've never seen such. I'm
trying to keep this thing positive, and you guys just start doing jabs.
We are positively reminiscing over stupid people in the past.
It's in a positive way. It worked out.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
but
it
anyways,
worked out best for us.
Yes, well, besides the fact that happened, Bayonetta 2 came out. It came with Bayonetta 1, so I was following Bayonetta for all the time, so I knew the story and whatnot. I fell in love with the story. I mean, a female witch that had guns on her feet that could
Mhm.
use them. I'm like, wow, this is great. And then Bayonetta 2 came out where everything was like, oh my gosh, the gameplay, the graphics, the fighting. I did enjoy the fighting, and the witch time. It was like, ugh,
Even though
witch
I bought,
time.
even though I bought the double pack where you get like Bayonetta 1 and 2, like after playing Bayonetta 2, I couldn't play Bayonetta 1. Like the Bayonetta 2 is just, don't get me wrong, I played Bayonetta 1 already on the 360. Great game by all means. But when you play Bayonetta 2 and then you go back to Bayonetta 1, it's like night and day. Like the improvements on Bayonetta 2 in comparison is just it's ridiculous. I can't go. I found it so hard to try and get into Bayonetta 1 again.
Especially like for simple things like jumping, and you got the butterfly float down, so
Mhm.
it's not like you can you fall right away. You have a little buffer before you reach to the ground.
Mhm.
Just
And if
things
you
like
get it
that.
right, if you get the right if you get the right powers, you could chain them together like go into the Panther mode and jump into the Crow to get the farther distance.
Mhm.
And then the boss battles, man. Oh,
Yeah, the boss battles were just amazing.
the boss battles. Like
I
I
don't even know if you
what
could really. I don't even know if you could really call them boss battles because it just popped up at any time.
I mean you I mean certain chapters you could tell which was really the boss and whatnot. It was like 101 had that thing where it's like you had two missions before that and then the boss, and then it was like the length and the boss battles were just so huge. It's like I can't
Mhm.
play normal games with like bosses and look at it the
Mhm.
same way from since Bayonetta and 101. It's like if these are boss battles, then what were the other games that I was playing? Like what were those?
Wow. Wow.
Because
Oh
they're just
wow.
so huge, and it's like, wow, this is ridiculous.
Like there haven't been boss battles that epic since Metroid Prime 1.
Yep. Well, that that is one of the games I did. Like I said, that changed my life playing video games. Was in my hype video. Metro Prime blew my mind when I came out.
And the
But
music,
the music,
the music,
yes. And I forgot the music for Bayonetta 2 was pretty cool.
Yeah, it
it
was
was
pretty
awesome,
awesome.
especially since like, I like the fact that in Bayonetta it remixed some of the old songs and brought them back,
Mhm.
Hmm
which was amazing. And in Bayonetta 1, the boss battle for like Father Balder, they brought it back
Yeah.
into Bayonetta 2 and remixed it. And I was like, and they had the original one too. I was like, that was my favorite boss
Boulder
battle
was
music.
so badass in Bayonetta 2. He makes Boulder from Bayonetta 1 look like a punk.
But then Baldur in Bayonetta 2 was also awesome. I'm like, why
That's
can't
what I'm
you?
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Boulder in Bayonetta 2 was badass. In Bayonetta 1, he was a punk.
yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He was.
Okay, I'm hearing all the fun going through here. But like I said, those three games came out that were heavy hitters and stuff. I mean, if you're still on there, like I said, you're the one who doesn't have the console. But if uh, if any of those games that you forward to seeing the reviews and see what people like, basically hearing how we gush over it, King, that you thinking when if you decide to get back your Wii U again, that you would pick up. Are you still there, King and Pachi?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, all right. Did you get my question or?
No, you don't have to repeat it. I'm sorry. I'm eating a sandwich.
All right. I was saying basically we was go. I mean last year winter, basically Nintendo. I have this. This is now fanboyism. Nintendo knocked it out of the park with all the games that came out. So we talked about Hyrule Warriors. We talked about Bayonetta. We talked about Smash Brothers. Like I said, we know that. Like I said, it's up to you to get what console you're gonna buy. If you're gonna buy a console, upgrade your PC, like you were talking in your videos. But any of those games interest you, say, you know what? Yeah, I might go pick this back up if I decide to get a Wii U.
Uh, Bayonetta, um, Hyrule Warriors, and Smash are kind of, I'm not sure about those. But I would definitely pick them up. I just don't know if like they're still like $60. I don't know. I want to play Toe Tracker though. I don't know when that came out. I want to play that.
That
Oh
came
yeah,
out. No, that came out.
Kingdom.
Yeah, that came out. Yeah, that came out December.
Okay, so I want to get I mean, like Zelda, Hyrule Warriors. I've never been really into Dynasty Warriors. I bought one on Steam and I liked
Hmm.
it, but Smash. The only problem with Smash is if the online community is there, then yeah. I don't know if it's still there or not, but you know, I don't have.
No,
It's
it's
not
still
like when I
there.
was. Okay, it's not like when
Oh,
I was younger. I could just bring my buddies over and we just play some Smash. So
No, the online community on Smash now is pretty strong.
well, yeah, because it fixed it. Because remember, because what the difference between the netcode on this one and the last one is the Smash Brothers netcode this time is not server based. Is it has servers in it to get some of the matches up, but it's peer to peer. That's why when they did the direct, they told you to get a LAN adapter because it depends on your connection to the internet.
Hmm.
So the code speaks to each other's Wii U to make sure you have the best frame rate and the best, and you don't have the less amount of lag, which is the smartest thing to do. Which I was
Especially with
surprised that they
fighting
did
games
that.
as well.
Say that again.
Especially with a fighting game, because when you talk about internet in this day and age, most people have fairly decent internet.
Yeah, and I was just no, but I was surprised that they did that. I was thinking, telling the truth, I was first when I looked into this and I was talking to my friend. I was like, "Yo, what are they gonna do for the netcode?" Because last netcode from Smash Brothers Brawl was, and we have to call it as it is. It was
It was
crappy.
terrible.
It was horrible. It was horrible, and it was server based all the way. So they found a way to switch it on this and made it peer to peer, and that's what I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And again, nothing's perfect. Don't get me wrong, but it was a big improvement. So
Massive.
massive improvement. So going to what you just said, King Party, if you have a lot of friends that you could get on the Wii U, and if when you get it or whatever, and you have a good internet connection or a ladder, like I said, hardwire is always better than Wi-Fi because you won't have no interruption. And I would think you know that because you have a PC, you're a PC guy, but the online is better this time, and a lot of people is liking it.
okay, okay.
So. It will be, yeah. So if anybody wants to, if I think it's gonna be there. Excuse me, it's gonna be there for a while because I mean I've seen so many Google Plus Smash communities that's up in like the 3, 4. Some of them is up to like 80,000 people
Hmm.
just talking about Smash only. So it's there. And I'm talking about Smash Brothers 3DS and the Wii, not Melee. I'm talking about this Smash that just came out last year. So it's crazy to see those numbers. I'm like, wow, these guys are taking this thing serious as usual, which is good. I like people who play their games and enjoying it. That's the whole point of video games. I mean, I played Chore Treasure Tracker. I ain't beat it yet. That's in my backlog. I got Kirby Rainbow Curse. I'm almost finished with that. Those are games that just came out a while ago. That other people would say, hey, it didn't speak for them. This is cool. It's your opinion. It's your taste. You think it's a drought? Go right ahead. I played them. I liked them. And like I said, of course, everybody, as you came into the chat last weekend with the whole Splatoon, and before you came on, it was Dr. Feelgood and George and Katie. All of us were talking Splatoon once again. It's just one of those games that when you want to play online, it's like when you play the game, it's quick enough, but you just don't want to put the game down. Even if you lose, you're like, okay, 2 more matches. Then 2 more matches turn into like 4 more matches. Then 4 matches turn into 10 more matches. Next thing you know, it's like 12 o'clock at night. It has some kind of pull on you.
Uh-huh.
Because me and Katie were playing it just a while ago before we started the cast, and it was like,
Can we stop talking about drugs? Because right now, man's having withdrawal symptoms from that crack. Come on, scratching my arm and everything.
It's just like I said. For those people who love the game, it's addictive. For those people who don't like it, I understand. Again, it's a whole taste thing. But we started it. We played this what? You started it about like 1 o'clock, right, Katie?
Yeah, it was like 1 o'clock or something. And then you took over, and then I went to get my phone and check the time. I thought it was like 3 o'clock. It was like 6. I'm like, what?
I know.
So crack must feel like.
I know. We watched your video, Double M. Me and her like she laughed. That was a pretty good. I like how you do your videos like a couple seconds, get your point across. Cause me and she were laughing on that one. I showed it to Katie. She's like, "Yep, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like." Including when you have when the guys like, bitch, get that thing out of my
Don't
face.
get that thing out my face.
Oh yeah, with the Call of Duty, innit?
Yep.
You
And
don't
that's
get
the
that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
and the thing that killed me is we've seen this. We have seen this now that a lot of people, and they were talking about this. A lot of people now has come into playing this game as Call of Duty and losing full heartedly, and then you get other people just come up with the organic ways of playing. Like I said, when you play Splatoon, you don't play it when it's Japanese peak time, because you're gonna get your butt handed by those people. Holy crap!
That's what, like, one of the posts, like when you're walking around the plaza and you can see people have their Miiverse posts and whatnot. And there's this one guy who's like, I like to play during 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. because that's before the Japanese players get on and I get wrecked. And it's like, it's the truth. It's like facts there.
Yeah, them Japanese players, they have some next strategies. I swear down.
Dude, I've
I
seen
mean,
them.
I don't think they're unbeatable. I mean, I've had Japanese players in my server and like whoop the shit out of them. So I don't. Like, obviously, you're gonna have good ones and bad ones, whatever. But the ones that are good, like some of the strategies they come up with, like you'll just go into a section, and next thing you know, 3 men just pop out of the ink and start firing at you.
That's the part that killed me. That's what about this game I like. The organic way of creating your own strategy. Is nobody telling you go here or go there, whatever. And I've seen some skills that these guys like go backwards in the ink, disappear. Even like I think which one you saw, Katie, where they shoot the ink through the fence, jumped over the person, dived on, and then they come up and pop them from the back. I mean, that was like skills. It's like, how the heck? Oh man, I can't believe I got killed like that.
Stop it! Just stop.
Take a break. I've got I've got the Stealth Swim T-shirt, and I ain't changing that T-shirt for nothing. It's level 3 as well, so it's got all its upgrades. But the best thing about it is that even though I move slower in the ink, like I can't, even though I move slower in my own ink in squid form, I can't be tracked unless they're using an echolocator. And it works perfectly against people who like to use the charge shots. Because then, people. Yeah, because what it is that they'll shoot in a direction and I'll just jump in and ink, follow a path. They don't know where I'm moving. Next thing you know, I'm up in their face.
Oh man, well I'm gonna tell you right now. And once you get your amiibo, Micah, be prepared because you're playing the single player right now. And like I said, Katie already beat the single player. Huh?
I beat the single player today.
Yeah, Katie just defeated hers. Yeah, but when you see the amiibos turn up the difficulty, and the one with the inkling with the squid.
That's ridiculous.
They lock that underneath the hardcore. That's for sure.
Like the squid alone.
Huh?
Yeah, the squid alone.
What are you on about?
The squid amiibo, like the tiny inkling form one.
Yeah,
you have the boy, the girl, and the squid one.
I know.
Yeah, you unlock the single player mode with different scenarios when you use the amiibos.
Oh, okay.
As everybody would say, that's the DLC that they want DLC that Nintendo locked behind the stuff, in a way that you're using the same maps. You're using the same maps. The weapons, the gear that you gain is level 2, which is no higher than any other gear that you could get any place. You get a special. It's just that the special looking gear is like a skin you get behind the amiibo. But the thing is, the challenge is up because man, as Katie saw me play, I was playing the squid one. Like I said, the squid one. They give you have a limited amount of ink to use.
Like in certain challenges, you have timed. But the time ones are easy because you know the Kraken power-up?
Mm-hmm.
So you could just go through the timed one with the Kraken. That's easy because Kraken is invincible. But the ones that are like really hard is the one where you have limited ink and you have to save your ink.
Oh wow, so you can't refill.
Yeah, and nope. I just figured out something, Liger. Like basically the ones on the screen that's there, that basically is your extra refill.
No, I know. I figured that out.
That's your refill. But yeah, you have to still be careful.
And the thing about it that makes it tough, Double M, is that they put it in the stages where you need to use the ink a lot.
Oh
like
wow.
like the sponge stage.
Mhm.
Yeah, they put a limit. They put an ink cap on a sponge stage, so you
Wow, that
can't.
makes no sense, but go.
Huh?
That makes no sense, but
Yeah,
But
because that means you got to shoot that sponge perfectly and make sure that no people attack you to squeeze it down, or you would never beat that stage. Because as Katie, I got almost to the end. I was like, oh, I ain't gonna beat this because I can't. I don't have enough ink. I don't. I can't get across this thing because I'm gonna need like 5 shots just to fill it up. And as soon as I jumped over, the guy shot the sponge, and the sponge straight back down. I was like, oh, forget it, done. I'm done. I can't do it. I gotta start all over again.
the
So
good news is the final boss is not ink. It's timed.
oh okay. Oh, that final boss battle was awesome.
The music was oh,
It
yeah.
was everything about it was just so Japanese.
it was
Well,
great.
yeah, that's the reason a lot of people. I've seen the stories where people were talking about. I've seen some stories and people podcasting saying about this thing that Nintendo did about. Oh, they did this again, being scarcity because it sold out 95% in Japan. And look, they again. This is a thing that this is a thing a topic I always wanted to touch about because basically coming from your video you just released about the what is it Viva
Vive
Resistance.
la Resistance.
Viva la Resistance.
We Resistance, not
No, I
Resistance.
know. That's all your the thing. We Resistance is a lot of people think I've seen people saying about, well, Nintendo fakely did this with the Wii. They did this with the Amiibos. And now they're saying they did it for the Splatoon. If you break down what went on, if you cannot predict that stuff. If you predict what those things sell like, you should not be. You should be a millionaire today. You should be not even a millionaire, a billionaire. You should be better than Warren Buffett because you had the GameCube, sold 22 million. Nintendo came up with the Wii. It was less power. They went for innovation. They never thought that thing would have sold. And it went 2 years being hard to find. And it is not easy to ramp up production on a production line. It's not. A lot of people think it's just put 4 or 5 people. No, no. You gotta hire people. Sometimes you might, and after the demand drops, you gotta fire people. And sometimes companies don't want to do that. Some companies have morals, some don't. But they couldn't wrap it up enough until when it got it to a high part, which was of course 2 years later, everybody could get a Wii then. But nobody thought that thing would have sold that fast and that quickly because nobody knew that Wii Sports would have took off as much as it did. And then with the Amiibos, can anybody predict that Nintendo would have sold 10.5 million
I didn't know the
Amiibos?
Amiibos would go that rapid.
I did not think that. And if
I thought they were going to be very niche, to be honest.
I thought it was going to be niche too, but because remember last year everybody was making videos saying that this is the Amiibos are like Happy Meal toys and just toys, and Nintendo's getting late with they ain't gonna break in because of the whole Skylanders and everything, and it was down on news, and then Nintendo brought up the Amiibos, they told them about the Amiibos, and then again in 5 months they sold 10.5 million. I would have never predicted that. And I don't think anybody could have predicted that. And the thing about it is, they make the factory they have is a line. It's like the factory line they have. They do their Amiibos. And right now, Wave 4 just happened. Everybody's, like Jim Sterling has that, and everybody's like, oh man, I quit. I don't want to. This is Nintendo fault, all kind of stuff. Again, they have to. Even if they know the Wave 4 is gonna come out. If I'm a businessman, like I said, if I see Wave 4 is gonna come out, I say, okay, Wave 4's come out. Everybody wants this thing. Let me instead of doing 1 million Amiibos of Jigglypuff, let me do 5 million Amiibos of Jigglypuff. And even when it bumped it up to 5 million, they still didn't because Target showed that was one of the biggest selling
Not one of the biggest selling, fastest selling item in
items in
Target
Target's
history.
Who can predict this stuff? Nobody can.
Some pink puffball that gets mad when people don't listen to her music.
Nobody saw that will happen. I mean, again, if you could see that, whatever, and then of course with the now you got Splatoon. Here's the problem with the Splatoon: the console market in Japan is not big, and the reason why a lot of Japanese companies are still making games for the PlayStation 3, because the PlayStation 4 is not a big install base in Japan. So that's why they got a lot of games going to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. That's why they're doing it, because of the install base of what Japan has. But consoles are not the big thing right there. Mobile games and you call it
Handheld.
and handheld, because the Vita sells very well in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Vita
Sells
sells
really
very
good.
yeah. I mean
Times it sells better than the 3DS.
and yes, some weeks it kills the 3DS, which is a good thing. I mean, again, it depends on they have the exclusive. They have a lot of exclusive on the Vita that I wish a lot of American on the Western side people, but again, it's all about taste. Don't get me wrong, it's all about taste. People don't like those kind of exclusives. It is, but Vita has a lot of exclusive more than in 3DS in most cases, except if we take out the indie shop things, and Vita should be selling just as much as over here as the 3DS. But again, and it has power and all that stuff. But I don't want to digress into that kind of crap. I want to pass that on. But the console, like I said, Mario Kart just hit 1 million physical sales. They already passed 1 million digital over there in Japan. It's just that people are not buying certain games. And then when Splatoon came out, even though it's Japanese based and everything, again, Nintendo just predicted low, and they thought, okay, and then
Well,
bam,
it's not even just that. Splatoon's a shooter. They know that shooters aren't very popular in Japan.
in Japan. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All the things pointed out that this was gonna sell, but not sell as it did. It's a shooter. This is the first shooter that has sold more than any shooter in Japan's history right now, because it just took off. People like, what the heck?
Yeah, because I mean, in some ways I'm surprised. In some ways I'm not surprised, because the game is so Japanese centric. Like everything about it just screams Japanese.
But yeah, but that was the underlying point to make the game. That's what I'm saying. That it was Nintendo took something and flip it on its whole head, as we said in the last Endcast. It's not the typical shooter. It's something different. Again, there are other shooters out there that I love. I think I told this on a post I was talking about artificial or whatever. The only reason I like Splatoon is because the last time I had fun playing this, other than I played, of course, 007. I mean, GoldenEye and the Wii and the N64. Oh, excuse me. I had my friends and stuff. I played it, but Perfect Dark, to me, and this is my opinion, it's nobody else, but to me, Perfect Dark was better than GoldenEye because of the guns. The selection of guns was just so weird and different that I love Perfect Dark. The whole laptop gun, when you take the gun out and throw it against the wall, and you pull people towards that thing, and a far sight gun to shoot through the wall. Oh man, I love Perfect Dark. That was an awesome game. Of course, you have the RPC-20, where if you hold it before Call of Duty had it, if you hold the button down, you could turn invisible, and just walk around and just pop up and shoot with the Perfect Dark was to me, were better than GoldenEye, and it was just as fun in my thing. And then I've played shooters from that point on. Of course, I played Call of Modern Warfare. I played Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. I mean, those are good games, and I liked them. But the fun factor of like just getting into a game and just having a blast. Like, look, we have KD right now on the channel.
Yeah.
Shooters are not your genre, KD, right?
Nope.
And you really don't care for them, really.
Nope.
But something about Splatoon speak to you.
Yep.
And again,
it's that crack, man. It's that color crack.
It is. So I'm seeing this kind of stuff right here. That's the cool part of the gaming library that's cool. We listed off basically a lot of games that if anybody out there who ain't bought a Wii U, like I said, in E3 coming up, like I said, they don't need to do it, but I think they will be this time with how the market is going right now, and they have the prices to do it. They can do a price drop to like to about $250 or 275. It depends on what again how the yen is stacked up against the U.S. dollar. But we'll see how that works out. But they have a lot of games that's on the Wii U right now that stands out by itself that I think is pretty fun. Basically, my next question was gonna be like, what game? I mean, you could recommend from the eShop that you were like, oh man, it was a cool game on a Wii U eShop.
I think
I'll go with you, Double M.
I think you know what I'm gonna say.
Oh, what are you gonna say?
Trying to.
Trying to. Okay.
Trying to like I haven't played the Enchanted edition yet, which I do need to get. But yeah, trying to or the Enchanted edition is if you like platforming and you like puzzle solving as well, it's kind of like think of it like kind of like a combination of Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Brothers. But instead of like instead of like special power-ups or special items, you get like upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like upgrades to stuff you already have. So upgrades, and you play with 3 different characters, obviously, as opposed to just one. But yeah, think of it like New Super Mario Brothers combined with Legend of Zelda. You know, it is really an amazing, like for an eShop title, it is really an amazing game. Like it's worth the price of a game like Toad's Treasure Tracker. It is worth the. I'm not even joking. It is worth the price of a game like that, and it's not even that expensive for what it is, you know. And it's got online with voice chat as well, and things like that. For, for those of you say Nintendo don't do voice chat, well, Nintendo's console can't do voice chat. Of course it can, but yeah, it's got voice chat. It's got online multiplayer. Best way to play it is probably with Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because when you're using the wizard and you want to like draw his shapes, or when you want to point to certain things with your archer, it's just the easiest to just do it when you're just pointing on the screen. The Wii U and game, like if you're gonna play it off TV, play then obviously the Wii U touchscreen, because I played most of that game. In all fairness, I played off TV. So I was using the Wii U gamepad and the touchscreen, but in all honesty, the most effective controls are the Wii Remote and Nunchuck if you're going to play it on like the big screen TV. But it's one of those games where the experience is still equally as good if you play it off TV as well. Which is another like people kind of put the off TV play on the back burner, but there's a lot of games where you play with the Wii U where there was a lot of games on the Wii where I actually preferred playing them off TV than I did on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
So like New Super Mario Brothers U, I preferred playing that off TV. Simply because it's just easy when like say you have the Wii U gamepad, like just say the Wii U gamepad's just there and you can just turn it on. And you don't have to worry about like turning on all your TV and everything like that. Just literally is a very simple pick up and play. It is like games where you can just pick up and play straight away. The gamepad, playing them off TV just adds that extra level of convenience that you just won't ever get with another system. I'm sure you guys have played. There's plenty of times where you guys have just played games off TV where you like probably couldn't bother to turn the TV or anything like that.
Yeah. Yep. We do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a convenient little feature to have. But yeah, if I had to recommend an eShop game, definitely Trying to, like what Frozen Bytes did with that game, absolutely amazing.
Okay. All right. Anything that anything that's jumped to your mind, Katie?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
No problem.
I was trying to
No problem.
I was trying to get my 3DS so I could look, but it's far away and I think it's dead.
Okay, no problem. That's cool. I'll throw some recommendation out there. As everybody know by now, and you know what? Is a game that again is your styling. If you want to love those kind of games, you can love those kind of games. But 2, you could get it on any platform right now, which again is a good game. That again, look what the reviews were great.
Well, same with Trying to as well. I mean, obviously the Wii version has some exclusive content in there. but you know, you can essentially get it on any platform.
Yeah, no, and which is good. No, I'm cool with that. I'm saying I'm not. Once you can play something on something else, it's cool. The game I'm talking about, basically, of course, the Shovel Knights. This is
Yeah.
Shovel Knights is basically a retro style game. Pretty good. You can play on any console right now. I liked it. I liked the music of that game, the style and the music of that game, and of course the controls are tight. Of course, Yacht Club is people from Way Forward, and Way Forward was basically kind of taught from from people from Nintendo and Insecurities how to do side-scrolling games, which was awesome and good. A next game I will add to that would be DuckTales. I played original DuckTales. I loved it back then. Loved the music back then too. It came on an eShop. Again, it's on almost every platform. I like the DuckTales. I'm happy that they got all the original voice actors in that thing with DuckTales, and this one's pretty good as well. The next game that stands to me also that is good is, of course, I gotta tip my hats off to a next game. Again, this is all platform. This is gonna be on any platform to play with. These are good indie games. I tip my hats off to Guacamelee. I love that game. That game is phenomenon. It
Phenomenal.
puts phenomenal everything. It's an awesome little indie game that you have to put your skills together, and the ending game of that putting your skills together is quite difficult. I have to say it's really difficult, but like I said, it's one of those games just like Double M says with the whole they use the gamepad screen in a certain way, which I like the way they used it, and the way they used it, and of course, let me see. I, you know what? I have it here. I think did it die on me? Nope. I don't think it died on me. Goody, because I make sure I see what else I have on the gamepad, on the not the gamepad, on the
See, I need to just
on the
sit
Wii
down.
U.
I just need to sit down and have like a game marathon week where I just literally just load up with snacks and just play video games throughout that whole week, just so I can like catch up on a lot of games that I just haven't had the chance to play yet. Like
I
just
know,
go
right?
ham throughout the whole week.
I know. Well, like I said, you have those kind of games, right? Those kind of indie games that you can get on the Wii U. You can get on other platforms. Some are exclusive. The one that's more exclusive to the Nintendo consoles are more to the 3DS, like QB Boy, Sakurai Warriors. I mean, you got Pushmore that goes back and forth. You got other stuff like that. But like I said, they have some indie games on the Wii U that's pretty good. That just is on the par level of any of the PlayStation 4 when it comes to that stuff. Like I said, Xbox have some games like Ori and the Blind Forest, but it doesn't. But Xbox Arcade has dropped off away from when Xbox 360 was. It was not. It's not the same. Back then, 360 had an arcade locked down. There was some good games coming out. Now they lost a little bit of their luster. So hopefully they'll bring it back up with E3 around the corner. So I will have. Let me see what I since I have to say one thing that the Wii U does, and like I said, I'll ask everybody here. I'll start with one. I'll start with if you're still there, King. I'm gonna ask you this question in front. If you're still listening, because I think I don't know if you had a Wii or not. Cause basically, you had a conversation about Master Demon Blade, which you had on the Wii and you had on the PS Vita.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask this question first because I don't know if you heard the topic when I was talking about Katie about the whole combo thing. Have you got high in your combo count for that game?
I've got pretty high, but I don't remember how high it was. Like I think the easiest way to get a high combo is fighting the centipede, but that's just because it's so big and it's no way to really miss hitting him. So I mean, if I did get a high combo count, it's not because I'm like the best. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. No. I understand. Like I said, that's one of my things that I've done because, like I said, one of the things I found out about that game that when I broke the combo counter on that game, playing the one of the dungeons, one of the multi dungeons where you fight 10 of the monsters. You know what I'm talking about, right? The cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I broke it when I got 999 combo because I was like, how far can I go? And I was like, okay, 910, 920. I was like, okay, I'm still comboing all the way up. And I was like, $9.99, and I was waiting thousands. I was like, what the hell? It stopped it at $9.99, and I broke out of the account. I was like, I didn't know it stopped at that. And I'm thinking they didn't know. I think Marvelous didn't know nobody would get that high in the combo count. So, but the question I want to ask is, because Wii U has backwards capability to play games, is there any game that you think from the Wii library that you think people should go out there and give a chance and that you could recommend to them?
Do they have it? All right, I'm gonna try to name games that I don't think most people play. Uh, Zack and Wiki. I don't know if people played that. That was pretty good. You probably don't want to play Red Steel 1, but I like Red Steel 2, and that game is pretty cheap. You can get that game for like $3 or something.
Yeah, I got let me. I don't mean to cut you off. Double M, I have to say something to you about Red Steel 2 because I want to do something for you. But King, if you did not know, that was one of the games I worked with Ubisoft. Red Steel 2.
That's cool.
Yeah, but other than that, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
This is me. I know a lot of people probably didn't like it. Probably I like the Conduit. I mean, there's no I'm pretty sure the multiplayer is done at this point, but
yeah, I still enjoy servers down.
Yeah, their servers are down. Muramasa. Yeah, that's another one. The Wii had a huge library of games that were really obscure.
Well, yeah, the only reason I'm asking the question because there is a backwards capability on the console, and I think you're going to one of your videos that you was talking about, where I commented that I wish gamers, and I really do mean this, do not just focus on just the AAA titles. There are indie games. There are second-tier games that I think people should play, or there again, you have backwards capability with some, or you could buy, like I said, the PlayStation Now or the Xbox, whatever. They got games that I think people should play, but because it's not the new shiny stuff, you know what I mean? They're not paying it, and that's kind of going to hurt the market going in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was just only access so people could get, like I said, anybody who's picking up a Wii or who has a Wii, there might be some games that, like you just said, Zack and Wiki. A lot of people, it sold, it made money, it sold, it was profitable, but it was not that big. It didn't have that following with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you didn't have the following, like you just said. Like a lot of people would think it's obscure, but it did sell, it did make money, but a lot of people just didn't talk about it as much as a Mario or a Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was asking you that question. If you have anything that like I said, that stand out to your mind, like what, hey guys, check this out. Look at some videos, do your research, and this might be a game that you might be playing. So, I mean, that's for right now. That's all you have, King.
Yeah, like the best thing I could say to anybody that's like 'cause I still have a Wii, I don't have the Wii U anymore, but the best thing to do is to go to like classicgameroom.com or go to their YouTube page and watch their Wii reviews, or go to someone like I was big into the Wii, so like I still remember some of the channels like K-Wing, Frequency, and Wii Reviewer. There was a good number of guys that was reviewing pretty much every single game that would come out for the Wii, so there's definitely a lot of hidden gems for the Wii. So you might want to watch those reviews, and you'll find something you'll like out of that.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, what about you, Double M?
I think a game that's severely a lot of people should check out if they haven't already yet, which I think is a bit underrated. That's Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. Taking
1 and 2.
Taking different aspects from Resident Evil games and then putting them all into this kind of light gun shooter collection. Game Trailers described it best in their review, and they said it's like a love letter to Resident Evil fans, because it really is. And the fact that it's a light gun game with about a good 8 hours worth of content in there, maybe even more if you're talking about trying to beat high scores, doing on higher difficulties and things like that.
Or getting the data disc so you can find out the story, because that game has
a lot of hidden laws.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have to shoot everything that can be shot to find these things.
Yep.
The main reason I tried to find as many as possible because they bump up your grade a lot.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I could add to add to what you just said right there. Anybody out there that if you want to know about Resident Evil, like just what Double M says, is like because the Umbilical Chronicles, and if you add on the Darksiders, Umbilical
Dark Side
Chronicles,
Chronicles.
the Dark Chronicles, you add those together, you will learn all the story all the way up to Resident Evil 4.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you find all the secret lores and everything. That's basically tells you
Oh, and
everything about Resident.
it's one of the it's the first Resident Evil game where you actually play as Albert Wesker going through his own story.
Yep, and also you get the secret damn Leon met not Wesker. What's the other guy?
Krauser.
Krauser. How Leon met Krauser. And how Leon met Krauser and what Redfield and what happened in Russia with Chris Redfield and Julia when they went to Russia to find the what do you call that stupid thing, that big thing again? The bio tyrant. Sorry, the bio tyrant. So it's a good game that took the Wii U's light gun, like Double M says, and it shoots. And sadly, they ported over to the PlayStation 3. It didn't work that well, and it didn't sell that well. And I'm sorry that happened. I told my friends who are PlayStation 3 to pick that up, and some did, and they liked it. But I wish a lot of people more did it. But it was a good. It's a very.
I just like the whole. Again, it comes back to, it gives you that real arcade feel of having a light gun game that you don't have to pump so much coins into.
Yeah.
And not only that, most light gun games, they end in about half an hour to an hour. Like this.
Not this one.
This one, the story alone will give you about a good 6 to 8 hours out of it. Plus, if you're talking about beating high scores and stuff like that, you could still put a lot more. I put loads of hours into this game.
I hate with that. That is true.
And some of the missions are just cool to replay again as well.
Oh yeah, some were pretty cool to replay. So you got that. You have any other thing?
Them Wesker missions were so hard though.
Yeah, we gotta get a limited amount of life with him.
No, not even the unlimited amount of life. It's just that as soon as you get into the level, it's just like, you find a bunch of cool weapons straight away, but then they send a bunch of difficult enemies after you.
Well, yeah, because of how the
non-stop.
Yep, because how the story is. Any more games that you think of at the time that you could add to it?
I think what game? GoldenEye for the Wii. GoldenEye for the Wii is really good. I mean that game sold pretty well. But I mean, if you want something that will help you reminisce of the old GoldenEye and the N64, it's not exactly the same. In all honesty, it's more like stealth Call of Duty.
But you still can run and gun.
Yeah, you can. But it's just a really cool game. I mean, like how they've just kind of like twisted everything up, where they've put in they put in Daniel Craig instead of Pierce Brosnan and all of that stuff. It's a pretty cool game. It really gives. It's not exactly the same like GoldenEye and the N64, but it does give you that sense of nostalgia when you play it. Like you'll go to certain places and you'll remember certain things from the original game. And but yeah, I mean, there's some cool little features like you can twist the nunchuck and you'll pop in and that you'll lean out of cover and things like that. And you can only do that on the Wii version.
Yep.
No More Heroes.
Oh yeah.
1 and 2, really good game. Like you can get them for a steal now as well. Like they are. Like they're just original. They're very Japanese centric, but they're original. They're funny. They just think of it like a South Park of video. Think of it like a Japanese South Park of video games. Like in just the toilet humor and everything. It's just there's no political correctness to it, but it is a really good game. Really quirky, really funny. It's like it kind of puts you in the role of this serious story, but it makes jokes about it all along the way. And like the character of the assassins, like the amount of like character they put into these assassins, like you'll fall in love with all the assassins you face just from their character alone, to the point where you almost feel bad killing them.
Yeah.
Because that they're all very cool and they're all very original, right from the first one.
Okay. That is a those like I said, No More Heroes was Suda 51 with his crazy ideas and took it and just made this crazy game, but it
Well,
worked.
it wasn't as crazy as Killer 7, which was just,
No,
to be
that
honest,
was crazy.
Killer 7 was just fucked up on every level. Like that
That
game
it
was just effed
was.
up. Like I had to just stop playing that game because I couldn't wrap my head around how effed up it was. Literally,
Yep. Uh-huh. That is true.
that was probably one of the most effed up games I've played ever. That game is
so yeah,
actually effed up.
so you gonna have that on your Wii. You gonna have you see, so that's all the games you could think of right now. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I'm just trying to get
I
people
could think
again.
I could think of more games, but I'm kind of thinking of probably the ones that people ain't really played.
Mm.
That because to be fair, there was a period of time where I took a break from my Wii and I was playing a lot of PC games.
Mm.
So throughout, like, let's say between 2008 and end of 2000, let's say between mid 2008 and end of 2009, it was just like mostly playing on PC, to be honest.
Okay. All right. No
So
problem with that.
between that time, there was a lot of games I didn't really play.
All right. That's cool. Like I said, I'm just trying to get people's, to see what people's, to give again an idea of things that you could play. Because again, you don't need to have all the triple M games out there. You could get games from the
No, there's a
past and
lot of
everything. You could,
there's a lot of great gems on the Wii that even I need to catch up on. In all honesty,
yeah. Well, just like Grim Kompachi just said, there's a lot of gems on it on the library. I'll pass it down to Katie here. Is any game that sticks out to you that you would like to recommend anybody? Okay.
Oh, I don't I don't think they're mostly like, the hidden gems, but I would honestly like recommend like the Wii version of Okami, because like
Yeah.
it's a gem really, and you can play it on the, I forgot what console, but
PS2.
PlayStation. You can play on PlayStation 3 because yeah, they did a HD
Oh,
version of
okay.
it.
just
Hmm.
having the Wii U, the Wii remote and the brush, the fluid motion of it is just something about that. I just find it a little bit more easier.
Mhm.
I think Sonic Colors. I
Oh
Sonic
yeah,
Colors.
that was one of the only couple of games that did do good.
No, Sonic and
Yeah,
the Secret Worlds did pretty good as well.
I'm
Sonic and the
talking.
Secret Worlds, I mean.
yeah, the Secret like out of the Sonic games that came for the Wii, my favorite was the Black Knight, and Sonic Colors stood out to me most because it all of the wisp and the stages. It got me back into like console Sonic games, which
Hmm.
I thought was great.
You
And
know
I
what? It was one of the best looking Sonic games that came out that generation, period.
Yeah, it was like just looking at it in general, and just it was the right amount of speed too. Like he was fast, but not too fast where you just like, okay, this was a blur. Like I might need to play this over again. But yeah, but it was the right amount of speed. Like Sonic Colors, that's a good game. Sonic and the Black Knight, that's also a good game.
She's
Um,
the Sonic head for anybody out there that needs to know that. Just letting you know.
I'm a slight Sonic head, slight.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. I had other games. I mean, if you're into like those like weird games, like I love mostly, WarioWare Smooth Moves. Like, if you just want a game that's all about like fun, weird mini games, Smooth Moves is great for that.
Mhm.
And Rhythm Heaven Fever, because
Oh yeah.
I like Rhythm Heaven, like the whole thing. They had like one that's for Japan, but that's the GBA one. And then they came out with Rhythm Heaven, which was the DS one, which was like great. And I was like, oh, I wish there was one for the Wii. And then it came out with Rhythm Heaven Fever. I was like, yeah. Like it's, I think it's the same people who did WarioWare, but it's more like, as the name would
Mhm.
say, it's more like rhythm, kind of rhythm based, and it's really fun. Like I'm very close to perfecting all of it, very
Mhm.
close, but it's still frustrating when you mess up once.
One beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Another game. Another couple of games I really got into. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3. They were really good on the Wii. On the Wii.
Yeah, yep. I got two. I didn't get three, but I got two and two.
I didn't play as much of 3, but I played a lot of 2. 2 was
Two.
awesome.
I played. I basically beat two. Yeah. So that was the next one that added. That was a good fighting game with them and the story and how they set it up. You're right. I did enjoy that.
There was another game
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
uh, Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
That's
Oh
it. I
yeah,
was
I
gonna
was
that.
gonna
mention
say
that
that
was
you
really
took
good.
one of my
You
games.
know, all 4 of us were thinking it. You know, they say great minds think alike.
That's one game I was gonna bring up, King. Yeah, Tatsunoko versus Capcom was just. I love
Beautiful.
that. I love, of course, because you could play with Zero. She's also a Mega Man head too, but it was that is a Tatsunoko versus Capcom, man. You pull off those crazy. I mean, like I said, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was alright. The thing about that I didn't like about Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was they they did try to go a little bit with this. I didn't like the art style. That's just my personal preference. I didn't like the art style, and they didn't try to do the over. The combo system was kind of broken in a way. I liked it better because, like I said, I have Marvel vs. Capcom 1 on the Dreamcast, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast, which I like those two games. And then Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, I was like, oh man, is this going to come over to America? And then when they brought it over, I was like, I have to buy it. And then this game took when the game came out. I think I spent about 3-4 months getting every character, getting everything, every character, and just trying to figure out which is the best combination combos. I was like, oh man, I wish they kind of bring the video part of the endings over from the Japanese version, but it didn't. They just brought it. They just made it like graphic novel kind of style. But that was awesome. That was one of my best fighting games I played on the Wii. Let me not say that. That and also Guilty Gear. I love the Guilty Gear, the Guilty Gear version, Guilty Gear Double X on the Wii, because I put some hours into that too. I will have to if I, before I say one more, before I say myself, I say George jump back in. Basically, George, if you could listen to us right now, we're talking about games from the Wii that you like because we could play games on the Wii because backwards capability. Is any game that you think of that you liked on the Wii that you could recommend to people who has a drought or maybe didn't had got a good sparse library in the Wii U that you could go back and play? I'm gonna see if his mic working or not.
What?
I was saying basically talking about Wii games that you could because you could play Wii games on the Wii U. Is there
Yeah,
any games on the Wii that you like that you think that you could recommend to people to pick up and play?
Wii games. Well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of people already played this already, but I'm going to say Mario Galaxy.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy.
Yep. Because I know
Yeah.
that there's probably a lot of people that brought the Wii U that still haven't played all the Wii games because a lot of people didn't like it because they thought of the Wii as casual. So that's probably why I would say Mario Galaxy. You know,
Okay. Any more games?
not really.
Okay.
Not that I can think of on top of my head. I know there's more games, but not that I can think of on top of my head.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
I got one more to mention.
Go ahead.
This may just be me, but I played this game like all the time. Matter of fact, if I could find it, I'll buy it again. I played a lot of Godfather on my Wii. I don't know. Don't ask
Oh
me
yeah, I
why.
heard that version of Godfather for the Wii was meant to be really, really good.
It's really good. Like it sounds very it sounds bad the way I'm gonna put it, but like the fact how you have to like really actually animate snapping someone's neck with the Wii remote and nunchuck is really like I don't know. It was just I don't know. It was satisfying. It's because a lot of grappling in the game. Like you have to grapple someone and like beat them up, and you have to do it with the Wii remote and nunchuck. It's not like just press the button. So
Okay. And nah, like I said, recommend stuff man. Like I said, that's the whole point about this section right here of the Endcast I'm trying to do. Because again, they are back games that people never touched that they should play. For me, since you already brought up Tatsunoko versus Capcom, you brought up. We already talked about More Monsters Demon Blade, which is me and Katie. Like I said, did you? Let me ask one more question before it. Also, More Monsters Demon Blade, did you beat all the story endings, all 6?
I mean,
And
no, no.
6.
okay. Yeah, I got all 6, and I got all the swords. I got the 108 swords,
Oh
all of them.
man.
6.
And the last sword is a beast. The last sword that you get, think of it as Akuma's Raging Demon with all the moves you can pull out of that sword. It's awesome. I love that sword. But my list of games would be one. The first I would list off. Arca Fantasia, RPG game. It's kind of like beating Kratos from the GameCube with the whole card system that you got to set up. But it's a good game to me. It has a good like I said, a good let's see. If you need an RPG, the story, this one again is the usual Japanese story, but it still takes a little difference. I would say it's kind of the same, but not the same. 'Cause it's the whole thing about religion and religions are bad or whatever, but then they took it to a next level because you did have demons and stuff, and they found out, oh, this is not really no joke, and I like the story, and people. I love RPGs where a lot of the main characters that you play, and I'm kind of spoiling it right here, but hell, there's not many people out there who bought the game, so F it. I like characters. I like animes where main characters, and I'm not spoiling who died, but main characters die. And I'm talking about you played with them and you invest with them. So in this game, if you picking this game up, be careful who you are. How should I say? Leveling up and putting time in, because two of the characters dies in the game. And it changes your whole game scenario. That's what I'm trying to say. When it comes to any game, you're like, son of a gun, I don't got that person. I don't got this person. It's like, and they die in a one on the good side, one on the bad side, because there's two factions, and you're playing both factions. But they die in a way that's like, wow, I did not see that coming. So I love that as an RPG game. A next RPG game, but it takes if you love Codename Steam, this is a better version of it, but it's like a sim, and it's like the Codename Steam style of action, and that is Kitty play this Sakura Wars.
Yeah.
Sakura Wars is an awesome game that you go into your normal day life, and you gotta you have teammates, and you go through their regular struggles, and it's a normal day life. It's in New York, and it's a steampunk kind of game, and you playing it, and you gotta help people out, help a woman across the street, do chores and whatever. But of course, at night you became this mech pilot, and you got all these mechs have these weird ass moves, like real good combo moves, like the Chain of Justice and doing all kind of crazy Japanese style move. It's so Japanese, but it's set in America, of course. And that game, like I said, it has different endings, of course. One of those games have different endings, but it's just, as Kenny could tell you, it's just like the battle system is pretty cool in there.
Yeah.
The battle system is cool. I like the battle system. I like the whole one-to-one touch ratio of it, and again, you can pull out you save up your moves and you pull out the special moves. I love that game. The next game I have to say, can't see. Like I said, I bought Conduit 1 and 2. Of course, I enjoyed them for what they were. I'm trying to see. Of course, Red Steel 2. I worked on it, so I had to get it. So that was a cool game. I'm trying to figure out one more. Looking at my list from so far away. Give me 1 second. The one game I would say I would have to add on is again, a lot of people saying that the Nintendo RPGs, most of the RPGs have gone down to the 3DS, which is understandable. That's what it is. But also, we recommend Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Symphonia New Dawn. Sorry. They streamline the traveling, so you don't gotta be traveling too much between the cities. You just pick the city and go to there, and the comic system is anybody who's seen my Tales, my Xenoblade Chronicle X impression. That's the battle system I like the most when it comes to RPGs. I like that battle system way more than anything else because, again, I just love the one-to-one action. I swing a sword or do a combo, the person flinches or they get hurt or whatever. And if they're gonna do a power move with a glyph and the glyph is like on the floor, I'm not stuck in that one spot. I can move around and go around the camera and everything. So that right there is pretty good game as well too. And oh yeah, I can't forget what's that crazy ass game? Damn it, in the same way of like Double M when you're talking about the shooters, House of Dead Overkill.
Yeah, I have that game on my PC. It is I'm pretty sure the Wii version is better. That game doesn't play right.
Yeah, because it's using the light gun axis, using the Wii remote as a shooter, of course. But it's just one of those games, just like out of just insane. I like it just for the arcade fun, just like Double M said about the Resident Evil thing, the arcade fun of it, and it's just one of those games that I just like the way it is. And of course, everybody else. My favorite Resident Evil is the Wii version is pretty good too because of the one-to-one kind of pointing of the what do you call it of the remote, which is I love the whole Resident Evil 4.
I actually enjoyed Umbrella Chronicles a lot better than I enjoyed Resident Evil 5.
5?
Yeah.
I enjoyed Chronicles more than Resident Evil 5 as well.
To be honest, Resident Evil 5 was not that great.
I didn't like the whole buddy aspect and I had to save Shiva all the time. I didn't like that to a degree. It got annoying.
It got very annoying, like constantly having to swap out items, having a limited stock pool, not being able to upgrade how much you can carry,
And she keeps on using up all the daggone medicine.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that. And of course, Resident Evil 6 right now, of course, that flopped. I don't know what Capcom's doing. Resident Evil 7 is the next game they're talking about. As they're using Revelation right now that they struck gold with Revelations 1, and now with 2 coming out, of course, and they're doing a recap with the HD of the first Revelation.
The thing is, Revelation, they've effed up Revelation already because they're saying they're doing it episodic now.
I'm seeing a lot of people playing it and liking it. I can't say no because I have not played the game. I understand where you're coming from, though, Double M, because that is something that I don't think I would like to do, episodic like that. But again, I didn't think of that of what's that game that they're doing? Those two games are the two games I want to check out, and I might is it Wolf Among Us with the big bad wolf and everything? It's on PC.
I'm not sure.
You know what I'm talking about, King?
What you talking about?
The Wolf Among Us, the episodic game with Big Bad Wolf as the detective.
Oh,
I know of the game. I haven't played it yet.
Okay. No, I was gonna say there's some episodic games that they've done it the right way. You know what I mean? And you have that, and you have of course not the House of the Dead. What's that? The stupid movie that's on TV that's just finished up.
The Walking Dead?
Walking Dead. Yeah. With Clementine and stuff. Yeah, they got some good episodic games that's done it the right way. I don't know if Revelation is gonna be that way. People, like I said, I'm seeing people enjoying it.
But it's out already.
Revelations 2?
Yeah.
The first episode, yeah.
What systems?
Thing is, isn't it PlayStation 4, PC? Does I think so, 360 has. I mean, it's 360. Xbox One has to have it. I'm thinking it's all those consoles. Because I know 4 has it, I know PC has it. So if it's because of this architect system, it has to be an Xbox, Xbox One. But yeah, I mean, it's on PC. I don't know if it's in a Steam. I don't know if anybody knows that. That part I don't know. I would think
it's not on 7th gen consoles, is it?
On what game?
Resident Evil Revelation 2.
That's on everything other than
It's on everything?
The Wii U and the 3DS.
No, 2, not 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Revelations 2 is on everything but the Wii U and the
so it's on the
Oh,
3DS.
but
PS3 and
okay, I
360.
didn't hear the butt part. Sorry, I didn't
Oh,
hear the you said the butt part. My mistake. Okay,
Is it on
so he's on.
PS3 and 360?
King, is it
Hello?
on? Is it on the PlayStation 3 or the 360?
yeah, it's on the PS3 and 360. It's supposed to be. They announced they're making a Vita copy, so it's coming to the Vita as well.
Okay. All right, there you go, Devil M. Yeah.
Cool. I may see how much it costs on my PS3 and check it out.
Okay. All right, that's pretty. That's pretty cool. So there you go. You got those games right there. That I think we covered enough. Everybody out there, that the Wii U's library. There you go. It has indie games. It has eShop games. It has AAA. I mean AAA to Nintendo standard, not by the budget crap that everybody use that nomenclature for. But it has star-studded games, and of course, the one thing that makes the Wii U different from everybody else is it has exclusives. You are not playing most of these games, even some of the indie games. You're not playing those games on the other consoles. That's why you would buy the Wii U. If you don't want to buy it, it's all cool. Your money. You do what you gotta do, but it's the backlog of the Wii games, the Wii U games that we just talked about, and also the backwards capability of the Wii with all the Wii games that we just go. The library is extensive. That you can have fun with it. So I'm just gonna pay this off quickly. I did a poll question on this week with Active Gamer Life, Elite Game HQ, like their communities. So these are not only Nintendo fan communities; these are like PC communities and gaming communities and YouTube communities. I asked the question was with the Wii U being at this halfway mark in the cycle, what if are people happy with what? Let me see. Let's see. Are you happy with the GameCube exclusive, not GameCube, Wii U exclusive gaming library? If yes, name a couple of the games that you enjoy other than Splatoon, because again, right now Splatoon got that new glow that everybody likes right now.
Yeah, that new crack.
Yeah, you have the new crack, and basically we had a lot of people voted on it, and 95% of the people said yes, and only 5% said no out of 43 votes. Out of 43 votes, 95% of the people said yes, and 5% and two people said no, which was 5%. Again, I'm just talking about the exclusives. And we have, like I said, Dr. Feelgood, of course, he had left to go do something like that. But everybody's bringing up most of the games that we talked about: Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, Bayonetta 2, Mario Kart 8. All these great games that you could get only on the Wii U, and people were bringing them out. And I have to say one thing. I don't know. Let me see if I could say this guy's name right, because I don't want to get it wrong. Because me and him talked about this, and this is a thing that I wish gamers could do. Excuse me. Is always gamers. I wish that, this is something that games like me, Double M, because we're a little older. I know. Like I said, if I heard you right, King Pachi, you like what, 19, 20?
Just turned 20.
Just turned 20. Okay, so Katie's the same age as you, so so this is something that I don't know if you had an extensive of enjoying because you wasn't a part. I don't know. Again, I don't know how your library was compared to like how Katie was the same way, but I had somebody commented on the comment section saying about they didn't like the Wii U, and I said exclusively. I said the Wii U gaming library, and they said, "Well, I'm not happy because of the third party problem with the Wii U that Wii U has." Okay, I said, you know what? I respect that, but I'm talking about the game exclusive library. What about that? What about that? Would you like? Because there's never been a perfect console, and Mario. I'm trying to get this guy name. Like I said, I don't want to mess it up because he was, I think, Kiami G. K Anime G. I hope I ain't missing your name wrong or nothing. But he pointed out that yeah, they have the Super Nintendo was a perfect console. I said, well, if you want, by your opinion, that's true. But if you want to go by devs, every developer had a different. Some developers were like Hit Tanaka. He didn't like the Wii U sound process, not the Wii U, the Super Nintendo sound processor when he did some of his songs. He's the guy who did the Street of Rage music, and there's some things graphically that Wii U the Genesis could have done, and the place that the Super Nintendo couldn't done. And back then, the reason I'm saying this right now because that's one thing I wish developers could do to this day. When what was the game again? Sorry. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 4 came out. Did you Double M? Did you play versions of the game? The Genesis version and the Super Nintendo version?
No, I didn't have a Genesis and whatever Super Nintendo I had, I was playing games that my uncle. The Super Nintendo that I did have, I was playing games that my uncle owned, and that wasn't one of them.
Okay.
This was when I was like a little kid. I didn't have really much say in what games. I didn't even know half the games that were out.
Okay, I got you. Let me. I'll ask. Let me see. A timeout. If you could speak, did you you understand what I'm talking about? Did you play any of the Turtles games back in the day, Super Nintendo Genesis?
Yeah, I did.
Timeout.
Yeah, I did. You heard me?
Yeah. Okay, I'm hearing you. I'll be hearing you now. Did you play? Okay. So I'm talking about Turtles 4, which basically, did you play Turtles 4 on the Genesis and Turtles 4 on the Super Nintendo?
I don't know which ones they were. I know I played the Turtles game though.
Okay. The reason I'm trying to bring this up because back then game developers were their own publishers. There was no big name publishers like EA and whatever. Cause EA was just doing sports games only. So there was no big game as EA and Ubisoft or whatever and THQ as publishers. Developers made their own games and they're publishing it out themselves. The reason I'm saying that because Turtles, everybody knows Turtles in Time. I would think so, right?
Yep.
Turtles in Time, but it was not called Turtles in Time on the Genesis. It was called Turtles Hyperstone Heist. Back then, developers took each console, and that's the one thing I wish game developers did today. But now it's because of the almighty dollar, and sometimes you just don't want to do the work. They took the game and made it different for each console. There was two consoles then, but still they made it way different than each other because Mortal Kombat played different than Mortal Kombat on Genesis. 1 and 2 and 3. They play differently on 3 play differently on the Super Nintendo than on the Genesis. Other than the blood thing. Aladdin, Lion King, Turtles. I'm trying to think of a game on top of my head that had that was on two sides that was good. And think about it, both games were good in their own right from each part. You could go back if you could find the old reviews. They were still great games. I'm trying to. And there's one more that's at the top of my head. Dang it. Street Fighter, of course. Duh, stupid me. Damn it. Street Fighter Championship Edition is different than Street Fighter 2 Turbo in Super Nintendo. It was kind of difficult because it didn't have no freaking shoulder buttons because of the Genesis controller. You had to find that freaking 6-button thing and try to work around that, but everybody took their game and made it work for different systems. Now we have this whole cut and paste, making the same thing, and they're not changing nothing, making anything no different. So
somehow it's causing more arguments.
And yeah, that's the part that killed me. We have more arguments now than then, and then had a difference. Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo was like twice as long than Turtle Hyperstone Heist. The difference between Hyperstone Heist and Turtles in Time was more difficult in the Genesis. So they ramped up the difficulty because it was shorter. Konami did at that time, but then of course they put, you know what I mean? They put a longer campaign in Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo. And that's the thing I wish a lot of game I wish we could go back to right now. Like those games stand that the test of time that way, you know what I mean? So I don't know what it is. It's one of those things that I wish game developers could do. And I heard something very interesting on IGN's voice NVC voice chat, which was funny to me because it's something I've been saying all the time. And again, IGN, they Pierre Snyder, Jose Otero, all those guys, they speak to these guys. They speak to these guys, and they keep on forgetting what they're saying. And basically the quote that Pierce Snyder said that had me laughing. I was like, "You got to be, of course." Pierce, when there was Jose was talking about, well, these AAA developers are saying it's hard to do this game and that game, and the gamepad is this. And Pierce Snyder says, but I have never heard none of the indie developers bitched about the Wii U's architect system and the gamepad, and they make awesome games. And that kind of, and the Jose were like, oh yeah, okay, you're right. I'm like, if
look at the recent shots of Fast Racing Neo, and that's made by exclusively for the Wii U by a team of 5 people.
By Shinin, yeah. Or Affordable Space Adventure, or Paris, Shantae Paris Curse, Yacht Club Games. All these guys, they have not argued about making games for the game, making the gamepad different, and making none of that stuff. No, none of them I've seen them make a big fuss, and that's why I said again with the whole thing about there are big like Shinji Inafune, Shinji Mikami, all these other big developers who make their games. They don't have nothing against Nintendo. It's just that the money takes money to do certain things, and people just don't want to spend the money. And I just liked it that they said that on their voice cast, on their podcast. Even though they interviewed Julian Ingberg, Dennis Dyack about how third parties is, they don't, it's crazy. Now I have 2 questions left right now. I'm gonna end it up, and basically it's this, and I want everybody to answer this question because I heard something that was so crazy. I want anybody to their opinions on it. One of them is a crazy question. The other one is a question by Anderson Archella, who's in the question app. So you know what? I'm gonna take care of his question first. We kind of answered this question already in a way, but he's a big Star Fox fan. So I'll ask a question, and you will just glance over and say what you would like. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what's in the game, so we don't know. So basically, he's asking, what do we all want in Star Fox for the Wii U? So since I'll start with King Rinpoche, then keep on going. So King Rinpoche, if you had a chance to, if you had an interest in it, what would you want in Star Fox Wii U? I'm just asking.
Oh, this gonna be real short. I don't know. I don't know because I mean I never got into Star Fox. So
okay.
to me it'd just be like I played Star Fox 64, but when I was that young, we had to pass the controller around, so I never really got to really get the feel for it alone. So to me, it'd be like playing a game I never played before.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool to hear about. Timeout. What about you? He just muted his mic. Okay. George. Pretty good.
Okay, first of all, I want online multiplayer. In the new Star Fox. And I want, like you'll be able to transfer. I want something like Star Fox Adventures, too. I know a lot of people don't like that game, but I love that game. That how you were able to get out of the ship and at the same time have, space combat. I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You talking about Star Fox Assault?
No, I was talking about Star Fox Adventures. Yeah, Adventures. Yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay. All right. That's cool. What about you, Double M? What would you want in Star Fox?
To be honest, I think they had a good template with Star Fox Adventures. Obviously, there was aspects of Star Fox Adventures that didn't work as well as they should, but for the most part, I do want to see ground combat come back.
Okay.
I want to see I would like to see a double side story, so you get to control both the Star Fox team and the Star Wolf team, and you get like a two-sided story that lead into one major story.
Uh-huh.
And it would be quite nice if there was some kind of co-op mode, where you get to have more control over the other members of the Star Fox team, and online multiplayer as well, and also mechs. I think it's that time where they need to bring in a new type of vehicle into the Star Fox franchise. They've got the landmass and everything, and I think that should be mechs.
Well, we know. I was gonna say we already know that we have the hovercopter. They said already have the hovercopter, the hovercopter that could transform into a R-wing or something like that. That was the rumor on the show floor of E3 last year. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I would like to see mechs. I think there's already been good examples of mechs used in Star Fox in terms of the scenes, like where you face Silhouette, and also as well when you have that battle with the monkeys in the spacesuits in Star Fox 64 in Sector Y.
Yeah.
And I think mechs would be a pretty cool thing to control. But yeah, I definitely think the ground combat. When I looked at Titanfall and then I started playing Star Fox Assault again, I said to myself, you know what, this is just like Titanfall, in a sense, almost just saying that I see where Titanfall ripped their inspiration from. But
okay.
But yeah, so I think if the Star Fox franchise kind of, I wouldn't say necessarily go down that route, but I think if in terms of the multiplayer, potentially taking some ideas from how Titanfall's multiplayer was implemented, but just all Star Fox, just the whole Star Fox theme over it and everything like that. I think that would be pretty cool, where you can actually have battles on the ground, and then you can go into the air anytime you want, and then you also have your mechs, your R-wing mechs as well, or whatever they will call them if they decide to put mechs in. But yeah, I think that would be cool.
Okay, that's cool. Timeout, you back in?
Yeah, I'm back in.
Okay, what about you? What would you like in Star Fox for the Wii U?
Never thought about that.
Huh?
Shoot. Never thought about that. I did make a video about how Wonderful 101 had that one part, those few scenes where they're flying in it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as thinking of what to have in it, I don't know.
Okay.
Never thought about it.
Oh, that's cool. It's cool. We're just a question on the question app. Well, I'm gonna pass it on to my Star Fox head. What about you, Katie?
Well, you already know what the first thing I'm gonna say is.
Wolf.
That Wolf needs to be there. Just Wolf in general just needs to be there. I do like the whole ground combat thing, so I guess I like a little bit of ground combat, but I personally like more of the the R-wing type fighting in general, so maybe a little bit more, you can have the ground combat, but
still keep the focus on the space combat.
Yeah, the space combat. I think mostly because Avengers was good to me, but I personally, since I was so used to the whole R-wing space combat thing, I was maybe they should have had instead of just traveling, just maybe more of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was good too, and I know they might not do it, but at least maybe some part in the game where they have a little Andross tribute type thing, like a boss that's kind of like Andross a bit, but
okay,
not like how Okini was that in Assault.
Yeah.
where it has like the whole Andros feel. I was like, oh, look at that, that's cool. Like something like that. I think that would be cool. But even if it's not there, I'll still like it for like a good story and good combat.
And
Okay.
Wolf.
And
And
Wolf.
Wolf, mostly Wolf, number one Wolf.
Yeah, I
Wolf for
mean, what?
Smash 2015.
All
Standard.
right. That is cool. That is cool. So I guess I can't. I mean, everybody have the ideas to what it is, and like I said, me, I'll wait and see what's happening. I have,
Oh,
you know,
don't get me wrong. Whatever the products of the game is, as long as it's good, I will definitely play it. But those are just some ideas that I wouldn't mind seeing.
no, well, like I said, Anderson Archer just asked what was our thoughts, what we would want to be in the games, and which is all good. My thing is again, it was one of those things that people. My hope is you people make a fervor for a game. Like everybody's wanting this fast. Everybody wants this facing Neo to be F-Zero and all this other stuff. When the game comes out, I hope people support it. I mean, the people who said they're gonna support it. So
I love space races, so I'm definitely buying it.
I understand. I mean, one of my favorite racing game back on the 64 that I love was Extreme G and Extreme G2.
Oh, Extreme G was brilliant.
That motorcycle that you could turn it. I love that. That was
I,
a cool.
I hate to say, a lot of people, I might get a lot of slack for this, but I think Extreme G was better than F-Zero.
It was the fun to me. Now I'm with you with that. The fun of the game was better than F-Zero. The difficulty, no. F-Zero was difficult as heck.
That don't remind me. F-Zero. Some of the stages in F-Zero GX on the GameCube, and some of the story missions, they were just mental.
Yeah, but I mean, but if you talk about like futuristic games, like racing games like that, I see that, and I hope I put this post on my Google Plus account. I hope everything goes well for Fast Racing Neo. The thing though, I'm killing that I did my whole hype video about is why I don't understand is again, the game was announced in 2013. We have not seen that in 2 years. I hope it's good, but I cannot get excited or because I don't get hyped for games anymore. But I cannot get excited for just screenshots. I just can't. I need to see
Well, we're
gameplay.
meant to be getting some gameplay this
True.
month.
No, and that's what I'm saying. If the E3's coming and they got gameplay videos, that is good because again, we had gameplay videos sorta. We had gameplay videos sorta, not sorta, with Project Cars, and we see what happened.
Project Cars is a bit of a different scenario, though.
No, I understand that, but they specifically said this is the build that's gonna be on a Wii U playing showing video. That's what they did. That's what I'm trying to say. And with Fast Racing Neo, all we have seen is screenshots. I'm not bashing the game. I'm just saying I don't get excited for something unless I know what the game plays like. That's why I like Nintendo style of E3. What they do is they do the digital event, then they do the treehouse, so people can see people playing the games. That's all I care. That's what I like to see. You know, that's my personal feeling. I mean, I don't know how anybody else feels about that, but again, I like to see gameplay before I say okay. Let me get a little hype about it because the announcement comes out. That's good. I know that's a game on my horizon. I'm gonna look forward to, but I want to see. Oh, this is gameplay is good. This gameplay is bad. And it goes to one of my mantras on my website, on my channel. Please do your research. That's all I ask for. Do your research because you won't get burned or whatever if you don't do the research. Now again, I know some people out here, and I said I've listened to King's video where he's talking about the whole, buyer's remorse or whatever. I say to a point, everybody, if I have, if I have not seen him, I never seen you do it, King. So I'm not putting you in that regards. Because it's something I've seen in this new generation when it comes to the whole buyer's remorse thing is people blame the company for the buyer's remorse, and I'm like, why are you blaming the company if you know what's gonna be, if you didn't do your research to buy the stuff?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. I'm not arguing anybody with that, but again, any buyer's remorse that I ever had in my life is on me. It's like, damn, I should have done more research. I don't blame the company because I'm the one who spend my money stupidly against the thing. So, but I have a question, and maybe I want to hear you guys' views, and this will be the end of the Endcast after this. I have one question to ask, and I want you guys to give me your thoughts on this. Basically, I had a conversation, and it was on a podcast of a big show, Wired magazine, and everything. And it goes into what I just said about the research thing. This person said that they don't want Nintendo to go very big on the amiibos because they don't want them to shoehorn the amiibos into every game. If they do that, they're gonna buy themselves. They're gonna spend the money to buy a PlayStation 4. I said, okay. So I asked the question, what games are you gonna buy for PlayStation 4? He said Bloodborne and a sports game, and that's about it. I'm like, so you're gonna spend $400? I mean, which is his money, and I have no problem with it. You're gonna spend $400 on Bloodborne and a sports game, and because Nintendo, because you don't like the amiibos shoehorning in every game. They're not Didn't Nintendo told you from the last E3 that they're gonna try the amiibos are part of their platform. So my thing is, that's the part about gamers. Maybe to what King Kimbrachi was talking about, the whole double standard stuff. If they told you up front what it is, why are you changing stuff now if they told you way before what they're gonna do? So since I'm hearing George so much because of the mic, what's your thoughts about that? What's your thoughts about that when people say that stuff like that?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that people should know that from the beginning, because from the beginning when they announced it, they didn't tell us about the amiibo until last year, but they told us that they had an NFC capability compatible platform for the Wii U and 3DS. So they don't shoehorn it into every game because it's an option. It's an option. You're not required to buy the game. And then they give you benefits if you buy it. Like sometimes they put like extra suits or whatever, or clothes or whatever on the amiibos. Like say in Mario Kart, and you buy a Link amiibo, you can use a Link costume for whatever character you're using in Mario Kart. So they put some benefits on it, and it's just an option. So I don't really understand that, how people think that they're required to buy it, because it's just an option.
Okay. King, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I mean you're the most objective person because I say you are the platforms that you game on. But do you understand my scenario? What I'm talking about, like whole research and everything, like.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like for me, like buyer's remorse, like that I had, like I think the Wii was probably the first thing I ever bought that I had buyer's remorse with, and it was pretty much just because, um, it wasn't like there weren't games I wanted to play. It was I played them, and I probably, played them a little bit too fast, I guess you could say, but I played through all the games I wanted to play, and there just wasn't any more. And then I just noticed I was buying things I owned already. I was buying them not really because, like some SNES games I was buying because I want to play them on the gamepad. But there were games that I don't like that I already have a cartridge for. That I was buying just because I'm bored. When I started noticing I'm spending money because I felt like I bought this machine, so I should buy stuff for it. When I was like buying stuff for my PC, my PlayStation 3, my PS Vita, and I'm just like, well, why am I buying things for my Wii U? So I would basically force myself, I guess you would say, or I would convince myself, let me buy something so I could play something on it. And I was like, oh, I can't do this. That's not smart. Like, I'm not going to like buy stuff I already got and I don't really want again just so I have something to play on the Wii U. So I guess that's where that came from. Like, I mean, I knew that at that time the Wii U third-party support was pretty much not going to be there anymore, but the games they had available, I thought they were going to last
Longer than you thought.
longer than I thought. Yeah, and I thought that I would be, especially Mario Kart, I thought I would play that a lot longer than I did. I just got, it was a great game. I just got tired of playing it. So
Understandable. No, like I said, everybody has that. Like I said, me and Katie still playing Hyrule Warriors and everything up now. Splatoon, of course, is taking over. That's for sure. But we still gonna dip back into we're gonna still dip back into Hyrule Warriors and Bayonetta once in a while. So I mean, I understand that regard. The thing is, and the reason I said it because when the guy said that, and I'm saying which again is his money. He could go that, but we all know, and even Andrew House said himself, the PlayStation has a sparse library of first party games, which they don't have no first party studios. I've said that once again. They're a first party publisher. They don't have no first party studios no more. But the thing that I'm talking about is when you have the research to do certain things, and you say you are a gamer, which meaning that you look at YouTube videos, you look at reviews, you look at all this stuff. How can you blame a company for something that you know ahead of time? And like I said, I'm not throwing you King into that. That's a different story. What you're talking about, you know what I mean? But it goes to like you just said, with like you had the thing with the Nintendo hypocrisy fans and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna boycott the game, but then I'm gonna buy the game. Then wait a minute, then you're gonna say, oh, I'm gonna support the game because it's a new IP. But Nintendo's have released many IPs from since again. Sakurai Warriors, that the research is not there, and they say stuff that contradict themselves so much.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like when you're talking about the guy with the PlayStation, like he said he was gonna get a PlayStation for Bloodborne sports games.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't just get it just for that, but I mean, if he wants to, I guess that's fine.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I understand. My point is again let me streamline it one more time, make sure maybe I'm not putting the point out that right. He's gonna buy a sports game. He's gonna buy a Bloodborne. It's his money. We are right. But then when you talk stuff like that and then say, okay, I'm not buying. All I want is exclusive games. You go to a library that don't have a lot of exclusives.
Oh,
that's the hypocrisy you're saying.
Yeah. Because if that person all they want is pretty much exclusive games, then then they should probably want a Wii U. They probably would want it all, to be honest with you. If you just want to play some exclusive games, but the system with the most exclusives is the Wii U.
Yeah, okay, and there you go. And that's where I'm coming from. Yeah, he said that he has a Wii U. He has one. He says he's going to sell it to get the PlayStation 4 because, again, it's $400 difference. But, again, you're selling all your exclusives with the Wii U, which is, again, his business. I'm not talking about what he do with his money. But then you go to a gaming library that you said, and the only three games you come up with is Madden, NBA 2K, and Bloodborne. That's a weird decision in my book.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't know about that one. Like that doesn't make sense. I mean, unless if the person is not knowledgeable, maybe he doesn't understand. Maybe to him he thinks like Madden is not an exclusive, but it's on like next generation, and the Wii U's not getting it. So I guess if he just means he wants to play games that aren't on the Wii U, I guess, but that's not what exclusive means. So
I know that's the one word that always trips a lot of people up with the whole exclusives. So okay, that's cool. I got your point on that, and that's the one I wanted to ask. Let me see. Timeout. Have you heard what I was talking about? You understand what we're coming about with this?
A little bit. I guess I understand a little bit what you're talking about.
It's just when somebody says that and then they do something way opposite, but then it's just you try to understand the typical gamer nowadays, how they think.
I mean, I've always said, well, not always said, but I always thought, people say they don't want to buy this because of this, they don't want to buy this because of that. I always say, obviously it's up to their decision. It's their, like you always say, it's their money, or like a lot of people say, it's their money. But I mean, I guess I don't care about. I mean, well, no, I mean,
Sorry.
yeah. Well, my thing is when people say, or they were exclusives. No, it's more first party, third party, and then people say which cards don't have no third party, but then the first party pretty much evens up with exclusive third party or first party they may have, like what you call it, first party will equal up to the other consoles, third and first party exclusives. All
Yep.
for okay, Nintendo first party will equal up to all the others third and first party exclusives combined. So it's like it. The only thing that puts them ahead is the multiplats. That pretty much it. That puts them ahead. And we know they all don't play all the multiplats and all the exclusive. We already know that because we could look at the sales. We could look at the sales, and that pretty much confirms that the only games that get played the most on other consoles are Call of Duty, those type of games.
Yep.
I mean, it's been like that for the last two gen, this gen and last gen. You look at all the sales, it says pretty much the Call of Duty games, Madden's. The only exclusives for those two consoles that are up in the top 10 are like one or two games for an
Well, the
exclusive.
top 10 are basically Nintendo games
Yeah.
in sales,
I mean, the
in
sales
sales and
say
stuff like
the sales say otherwise, so I don't give what the people are saying anyways, so it don't really matter.
that. Okay, that's cool. All right, that's cool. Like I said, my brother with the thought process. You understand where you're coming from with this, Micah, or not?
Yeah, I
It's
understand
just
completely.
weird how some people say certain things like that.
Well, I think best way to just leave it is this. We're all human beings. We all have a right to our own decisions, and everyone has their God-given right to do what they want. Now, if you choose for your God-given right, if you choose that, out of all the God-given rights you have, if you choose your right to be stupid, that's your right. I cannot argue with it. I cannot deny it. I cannot try and fight against it or anything like that. It's your God-given right to be stupid. Just don't get me involved. It's that simple.
All right, you're okay. Hey, like I said, I like the way you cut it straight to the point and said so. Like I said, I would think,
It's the
Katie, you
reality,
basically.
It's just the reality at the end of the day. If you wanna be stupid and make stupid decisions, that is your God-given right. And like I just said, I'm not involved. My money ain't going. My money ain't going into your stupid decision making. So why should I give a shit?
I hear you, and that hey, you can't say no better than what the way you said it right there. And of course, I would think, like I said, I know Katie really don't care that much about what people say,
Nope.
because because because
I
no
think I'm
because
simple than mine.
no, because she knows, like I said, our thought, of course, again, people's always stupid, individuals smart, and it just when I heard that decision, I'm like, what are you talking about? You're gonna It's weird that you got all the research about certain things and then you don't, and you're still blaming the company for what you did not research. That's weird. I don't understand that tendency of people. As you get you.
In this day and age, a God-given right to remain stupid is kind of normal. Maybe weird to us, but for the most part, it's kind of normal.
I got you. I got you. So that's what it is right there. You're right. So with that said, like I said, 2 weeks from now, June 15th is when it start. E3 starts. I
That's
think.
1 week. What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. 1 week from now, June 15th.
Oh yeah, that's 1 week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Nintendo World Championships next Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, okay. So we have the World Championship this next Sunday, as Double M just said. We have what do you call it? We have that come. Then of course E3 is around the corner. Everybody's speculating. Everybody's want to know what's going on. I heard you. I heard when you was on the cast with Zen and them with them guys, Micah.
Yeah.
About the whole Metroid and all that stuff and Mega Man and everything. I was like, yeah, you guys, I just laughed. That's all I could do. You guys went crazy, and of course the guy with his, I could see some of the stuff that you guys were calling BS on, and I could see some of the stuff that you're like, okay, it could happen, but it was just that podcast for me was just pure entertainment. I was just laughing. I was like, oh wow, yeah, okay.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, it is. So that's to let you know. And of course, I don't think I told you about it or whatever, but I think you already know because you're like I said, you understand how things go. At the beginning of the podcast, whenever you get a chance, Double M, check it out. I basically explain why like I said, the reason I found out something about Splatoon and why the voice chat is what it is, which again I figure out you would know that, but Nintendo did give a honest chance to make the voice chat work, but humankind is humankind, and that's as far as I'll go. Human beings, you can't stop training people, human beings when they say certain things. So with that said, like I said, I would say I know timeout. You say you will start doing videos again?
Yeah, I'm gonna start probably maybe this week.
Okay, so you got some videos coming up this week.
Maybe not put them out. I'll probably start on this week. Put them out next week.
All right, check out timeout. All right, people, well, check out timeout channel because, like I said, he has. I ain't seen no video for him in a while, but he's been a busy guy doing a lot of stuff. So he has a video out that's coming. Like I said, check out his channel to see if anything comes out. George, have you anything that you want to plug in? To let people check your channel about.
I'm thinking about doing a Road to E3 series. To show or to present all the rumors or whatever speculation or what of us approaching E3 because we're getting closer day by day, and that's about it.
Okay, so is your channel is what, Team Everything or? Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
Team Everything.
All right, Team Everything. Check out his channel. Of course, two videos that of course you got the crack that's on Double M's channel right now. You got the crack there, and of course you have the viewer resistance, resistance video, which is very.
Right.
Huh?
Say it right.
I said we distance. That's what I said.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm reinforcing the point that you say it right.
Okay.
You just said it right.
Okay. You have that video right there that is I think you guys need to check out and listen to. And also, he has a video about, all his videos is Splatoon right now, and the video with his satire, once again, his satire is awesome. His video just came out talking about Splatoon, that crack. The instant crack, man.
Crack that comes in all colors.
Crap that comes in all colors. Yep. And so check out his channel and check that out. And like I said, and also the Resistance video. Check it out. Listen to it. Like I said, he has some good points in there. That's some of the points that I've been saying because I have two videos out right now. I'm kind of rebroadcast them a little bit later, and I'd love to hear anybody's comments on them. Of course, is the Dear Gamer, which is from the developers, and what they're trying to tell gamers out there, and basically that a lot of people have been sharing that video, which I'm happy that they're sharing it. It's not gotten a lot of things that I thought, but a lot of people's understanding where I'm coming from with that video, and this is stuff I heard from Platinum Games, from Sony, from all kind of game developers, and this is what they want to. This is if they had a chance to tell gamers this, like the small minority of gamers on YouTube, this is what it would tell you. And also the hype video, which is E3's around the corner. I don't get hype. Katie we don't get hype for videos. We just want to get the games and just play them. That's what it is. Because sometimes we drop so much from what it's supposed to be. Fallout 4 got announced. Star Wars Battlefront, of course, got announced a while back and everything. So E3's around the corner. Let's hope everybody who got a platform, something's good. We already done Double M and us already done made a prediction in our previous podcast before the last one. What's going to go on with Sony, Microsoft, whatever. Check that out as well. And like I said, we'll see how everything works out. But to wrap this up, it's been a year and a half in the Wii U's library. I have enjoyed it. I have played a lot of games on my Wii U and had fun in it. I can't argue to the point that I'm happy with my purchase in buying a Wii U and buying all the game exclusives. Maybe somewhere down the road I'll do a 3DS version of this, so we could talk about that, which is going to be a lot of games because it's such a big library. But check out, but after E3, of course, hopefully everybody here will come back and join us with the E3 Endcast, the post E3 Endcast after we find out what the hell's going on with Nintendo, what the hell's going on with Sony, what the hell's going on with Microsoft, and we could put our honest opinions and just chat about what happened. So with that said, thank everybody out there who joined us. Thank you, Double M, team, everything, Timeout, King Grinpachi, Dr. Feelgood, all these guys. And again, right now, the darling of the Game Award is Splatoon. Go out there and play it, man. Seriously.
Mm-hmm. Go and get that crack. I don't usually promote drugs, but this is an exception.
Get that crack. I hear you, brother. Oh, man. All right, guys. Peace out.